just play with them all day, and it's just fun. So that takes my mind off things. But apart from that,
Yeah,
I think I really want to work like in, I don't know, I want to be in some form of care, but I don't like with either younger kids or like disabled kids or like disadvantaged kids. But I want to give back.
yeah. I was a nanny for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Really feel that. Yeah, and I worked in a nursing home, like a memory care unit for a while.
Yeah. I don't think I could deal with old. Well, I could deal with old people, but I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I've dealt with losing grandparents at a young age, so I can't be dealing with watching other people deteriorate.
No, it was hard. It definitely was like the first time I really like experienced death. You know, like 'cause I was befriending everyone, and then I would just show up to work one day and they had passed on. And, you know,
Yeah, my friends just started a job in a care home as well. It's like you're gonna have to, the first time you kind of walk in there and somebody's not alive, or you're dealing with a patient one day and they're not there the next day. What
yeah,
to deal with.
it's definitely like I mean, I was so asleep at that time.
Yeah.
I can definitely look back and just now with the language of like energy and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I agree with the kind of, the whole pharmaceutical industry anyway, so I wouldn't want to be kind of in that cycle.
Right.
So to see these, a lot of old people just losing their memories and all their cognitive abilities due to these fucking shitbills that they're being fed.
I know.
And all these jabs and shit that they've had to go through their whole lives.
Yeah, no, it definitely is like a stark contrast, especially if you are working with someone like, who has dementia.
Yeah.
They might not be around, like they might be signing off something via paperwork and yeah, just seeing a very vulnerable group of people.
I think if I was to work with older people, it'd be in like another country, like a developing country where, we could actually help improve their living situations. Like there's this guy I follow, he set up like a charity in Tanzania where he homes women and their children, lots of disabled children and adults as well. But like, these women, they're fit as fiddles at the age of like 90 years old, they're still looking after grandchildren and disabled children and running a farm and living in like a one bedroom, like a
Totally, yeah.
When it comes to
go down and finds these people who are being taken advantage of and rehomes them into like he started off at like a whole compound pretty much, like just following his own truth really. Really crazy what he's built. I haven't checked into him for a while, but he's on YouTube. He's an English guy. He's like literally just followed his calling and moved to Africa and just set up this charity and then what he does. There's a massive problem with like witch doctors in Tanzania. Like albino children are really like sought after by these witch doctors. So he gets like tips from tip-offs from like locals saying, there's a disabled or an albino kid that's being hunted by these witch doctors. Can you please come and save them? It's crazy. They're literally like sold on the black market. Like people, there's a market for like albino children. It's just fucking.
I had no idea.
Crazy out in Africa. But there's people out there, trying to improve people's lives.
So
I needed it. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, you're wanting to like make a career shift and head into that, or are you kind of?
Well, I've always followed him, and I've always like dreamt of being able to do something like that, but I've never believed in myself that much. But I've always wanted to do something of that magnitude. I don't know. I've always thought I could do something of that magnitude. I've never just like set a final destination sort of thing. I've just always taken inspiration from other people and never actually said, yes, I'm going to do this or I want to do that, or I just think pick on things that I like
Do you feel that's changing as of late? Like, do you feel like you're getting more direction and more vision?
Yeah, I feel like I am. I need to spend more time writing down because lately I've been a bit like all over the place. But it's just because I feel like I haven't been writing as much. I've been kind of just letting my environment control me a bit too much.
I feel that. And by writing, do you, because, and Abraham, I keep seeing the green. Is your mic working? I want to make sure that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, are y'all hearing anything? I was just listening.
Oh, okay, I can the green little thing can be deceptive.
Yeah, I saw it blinking too. I didn't know if y'all could hear anything on my end, like if there's anything interfering.
Not at all. Not at all.
How are y'all?
But good. Just I'm making rice and kimchi right now. Hungry. But no, I totally feel you, like, cause I used to, like, when I was a kid, I remember, like, my imagination ran wild, and I had all these visions of, like, what I was passionate about and loved to do, right? And then, like, I let myself get bogged down, and I'm finally at this point where I'm like, oh, shit, like, what's stopping me from thinking that way again? You know, like, what's stopping me from, like, following my imagination? And I think there is, I'm realizing this discipline of, kind of like you said, writing it down, like making it clear and not just being like, oh, okay, that's a cool idea, and then never thinking it again, but like actually get this Yeah, and I don't have anything like that set up in my life. I'm so scatterbrained, and this desire to like have, just like take more notes or write more or just like, you know what I mean? Like be able to
just take more action, I guess.
Totally.
Yeah, I don't know, I get very caught up in, well, I don't know, I'm very in the moment, like I'll do a lot in the moment, but I never kind of set like a kind of, I don't know, a goal, I guess. I never have goals. Never set well, I kind of set like long-term goals, but not like short-term, mid-term goals. Try and get like, I'll set myself a big long-term goal, say, okay, I want to get to this, but I don't kind of set, okay, how am I going to get there, sort of thing, and kind of set up little checkpoints along the way. So I get lost in the source and kind of go on to a new plan, sort of thing. I have a great plan, but never kind of build up the steps to get there.
I'm the opposite. It's the long-term plan that eludes me. Like something that I've changed in the past few months is like really trying to follow and listen to my intuition like right away. Like the way I've been thinking about it is I used to keep a to-do list for all of my ideas.
Yeah.
And you know, like anything that was asked of me at work, or you know, someone wanting me to do a favor, like I would do it right away, and then if I had an idea, I would put it down on a to-do list so that I wouldn't forget. And so that meant I was always doing other things, like things for other people, and then my to-do list just would get lost, it would get pushed to the side, and so I kind of switched that. And anything that anyone asks me to do goes on a to-do list. And when I have like a spark of inspiration, I like follow it. To a reasonable extent, but it's given me this momentum of like, okay, like I'm feeling inspired to do like an art project or like create something or things that are like very enriching and fulfilling in my life. And then I'm a couple months in and I'm like, and is this do I do this forever? You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm lacking that long-term vision of like what can come from this. But so I feel even if it's not like manifesting the same way.
Yeah, and sometimes we get a lot of joy out of helping other people, but you get more joy from helping out yourself. Sometimes we don't want to be selfish, but it's like I always like, instead of sorting out my own problems, I try and help my mates sort of problems, or because I don't know, it feels like in a moment I'm doing the right thing, but when I look back at my company, I should have actually spent that time on myself. you know, and then I could have. Well, if they were true friends, they would stick around and understand the fact that I need to spend some time working on myself. And then, you know,
Yeah.
feel like we get left behind if you don't. I don't know.
I agree with that.
We're gonna mute.
Oi.
Wait.
Hey everyone else. Hey, you guys who joined us. Oh, maybe it's my mic.
I could hear you.
Okay, I was getting a little bit of an echo. Did you say something?
I told Chili that I agreed with him when he said that last part. I was just saying I agree.
What
Yeah.
about being selfish and focusing on yourself?
Yeah.
Or like the actual, you know, telling your friends, you know, you need to focus on yourself. That's what I struggle with a lot of times, you know, telling my friends that I need to, like, you know, a bit of time away, but, you know.
Yeah, that word selfish or self, it always, I mean, it starts with self, you know, selfless, selfish. I mean, it always starts with self. You gotta put yourself first.
That's the one thing in life I kind of, not regret doing, but I've always put myself second.
Yeah, I have too. I've always, you know, been selfless and, you know, cared more about others, help pay bills in other houses that I didn't live in, you know, things like that. And it's like, all right, got to start being selfish.
Yeah, and you kind of, well, growing up, I kind of got caught up in like the esoteric kind of Buddhism kind of service of others, and you know, trying to be more.
Right, but it's a positive and not like a negative connotation selfishness that I've gotten into. I'm
Yeah.
selfish in an abundance, in a compassion state of being. So like I still put others first, but like, you know, I'm gonna make sure I'm alright too.
Yeah, I think that's just important for like just keeping it, you know, keeping yourself grounded. Well, not grounded, but just keeping yourself in check.
Right.
You know, every situation, you know, you get given an opportunity to react or respond, sort of thing.
Opportunity to learn.
Yeah. And if you're learning from every situation, you know, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you can be selfish, sometimes you can be selfless, or as long as you're learning from a situation and growing. Yes. And, you know, not being so dualistic about it and saying, you know, I've done good or bad or right or wrong, just accepting it as it is. Just
Yeah, just
accepting, I guess, of the situation, just learning from it.
just go with the flow state. It reminds me of that movie Fight Club, when the penguin says, "Just slide," and the penguin just slides. You know, it's like, just slide.
I haven't seen that movie in so long. Maybe we need to vote for that movie. That was a deep movie. Now that I know what I know.
Yeah, and it even shows like a lot, you know, since you've watched it. Like, I mean, oh, so much, especially with finances and what we're seeing today. But that's, if anybody ever asks me what my favorite movie is, I say Fight Club. Like, it's just the first one that comes to mind. There's a lot of others, but that's my favorite. Edward Norton, Brad Pitt, they played a great role.
I mean, yeah, they are both. Especially, they were back in those days too. Brad Pitt was like, you know, he was like on fire, man. He was popping out these really good movies, like.
That was during like Ocean's 8 and 7 and 8 or whatever, like the Ocean's movies. I don't know if you're familiar with those.
Yeah, I remember those. That series.
Yeah, you're right.
Man, I mean, he was on fire. He had so many crazy movies, you know, going on at that time.
Yeah, Fight Club would be a good one.
I've never seen it before. So
For real?
I'm gonna go at it.
Yeah, cause I'm voting for it.
Yeah, we should post it and then. Let's go overthrow the boat.
No doubt. I mean, that's what happened with Beyond the Black Rainbow, basically, and it turned out to be a great movie. The Ethereum crystal throughout the whole movie. You know,
Right.
I don't know. I still got to
Yeah.
watch that again. I ain't never seen it, and I want to spend some more time watching it before I, shed my input on it. There's like some more to it that I don't think I haven't seen yet. Like, I got to watch it again.
Mm. Yeah, it's a good film for sure.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't look like it's been added.
That one with the train derailment stuff. Was that another film?
There was another one, you guys. I got a notification.
Yeah, it was in Greece.
In Greece.
Yeah, I saw it. There's two trains collided in Greece.
Yeah, right. Killed 32, injured at least 85, and that's like the third that I know of. We were last talking about the Ohio and Michigan when we had that movie night of White Noise. We talked about those two train derailments because the train derailment in that movie, and now we see another one, a third one, in March. The third month, what they tell us, quote unquote.
It was on March the 2nd, I think.
Yeah. It happened leading into March 2nd. I got the news late last night, heading into March 2nd today, so it could have been March 2nd in other places of the world.
Yeah, March 2nd.
But it killed 32 people, quote unquote. So 3-2, March 2nd, how we write it in America, not internationally written 2-3, but 3-2, and it killed 32 people. I thought that was like organic synchronicity playing in the cards, or whatever it is. It's the news, so I look at it as the broken compass.
Interesting.
Yeah. Third train wreck, third month, going into the second day of the third month, killed 32 people, they say. I'm not saying it didn't, but it's just, I don't think man's doing it. I think it's
Up to 57. Oh, death toll. Yeah, 57.
total now. Yeah, because I just took a screenshot of the news article that popped up as I was going to bed last night, and I didn't look into it anymore. But a total of 57, you said?
Yeah, that's what it's saying.
We just had Super Bowl 57. Rome equals 57. Gladiator equals 57. They used to put us in Coliseums 57. Like, this 57's powerful this year, and we know that. Yeah. The mayor of
That's
75.
interesting how they pick like numbers for specific years and they ritualize on those numbers. It's really interesting.
It
But it's
is.
in Greece as well, Gladiator, Greece.
Right, and that's why I brought up Rome, because Rome equals 57. You're saying a death toll of 57. So red and white, Knights Templar, red and white equals 57. So that's how I knew who was going to win the 57th Super Bowl, the red and white team.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
That
interesting. You
the-
want to know why?
why?
The fifth planet is Jupiter, and the seventh planet is Uranus. Now check this out. When you look at right now, their positions. Let me open a chart here. I'm just gonna look at like the current planets. Let's see. Reports. Let me log in. I'm just gonna take a quick look at today's transits. Let's see. I want current planets. Alright, so we have Jupiter in Aries.
Right.
Let's see what Jupiter is right now. Yep, so Jupiter's in Aries, and I think it's conjunct with it's conjunct with Mercury. and let's see, it's in a trine with the North Node, and the North Node is another like Uranus type of energy, and it's let's see, what else is going on with this? So I find it really interesting because, like Uranus is right now, I think it's in Taurus. So you have these two energies that are like not in sync right now. And one deals with like sudden chaos, sudden events, the advancement of technology, futuristic type of living or thoughts or events, and you have, Jupiter in the mix. So now we're talking about expanding or advancing anything that's like, futuristic, or anything that, so any sacrifices that you make to these two planets, any kind of energy that you send their way, it's basically like multiplying in the future. So I can see why they're doing all these things now, because whatever you do, if you want to manifest in that future and you want to expand that energy, these are the two planets that you would like be dealing with.
And that's crazy because you said it was the fifth and the seventh planet, Jupiter and Uranus, and we were talking about the 57. And we know Jupiter is Zeus, or the god of all gods, but also in another mythology, Uranus is the primordial sky god. So, I mean, they're both very powerful deities, and that makes a lot of sense. Manifesting it now for sevenfold, tenfold, in the future.
But Uranus is Saturn's father, isn't it? Saturn's father of Jupiter, so...
No, I think that it is, yeah, that's Cronus, right? Cronus is Uranus, yeah? Yeah, you're right, yeah. And that's interesting because, yeah, that's really interesting.
It's always the father and the son in the mix. It always comes back to Saturn and Jupiter. Period.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, they're the last two sort of visible planets, because all the other planets, I think you need like special equipment, and those were the planets that were quote unquote discovered like later on.
Right. Yeah, Saturn's had so many names. The god of all gods, the first son, Father Time, the timekeeper, like Odin, Kronos, Saturn. The list goes on. It's known as the god of 1,000 names.
It'd be cool if we could put some like documentaries on mythologies in Discord or something. It'd be cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that'd be cool.
That would be great.
Just so we can like educate.
I've got a book that I bought at my son's school fair, and I just recently started homeschooling him and became chief administrator, and his own teacher and principal, everything. And I decided to start with that $30 book that I bought at the book fair at his school, but they don't teach it. Okay, so why not start there? And it's got all different cultures. Probably go through that sometime, maybe. I don't know.
Interesting. Very interesting.
There's some news about the pyramids in Egypt as well today. They've discovered some new caverns inside it, some new chambers.
Was there also a number to that, like 147 or something? Like, I've been seeing this news about something over there and a number being involved. I didn't know if you had any insight in that.
Well, 147 is, again, the 57 is the, 5 and 7.
Right.
Well, the Great Pyramid is 146 meters high.
Huh.
But some people may say 147, but...
Yeah. I don't know. I would have to relook. I was working all day for like 14 hours, and like I was trying to scroll through and see what people were talking about, and something over there
We
came
still,
up.
we still try and say that it's used as a burial chamber.
Really? So 146 is what? It's what again?
The height of the pyramid.
Holy shit! And so here's what's funny. 1466667 is like I just saw something about a measurement. Um, I don't remember when or where I saw it, but that was supposed to be like an important number. Now I can see why. And it's so funny. So we're just talking about this, and then Duke Doobie just shows up on the general chat and puts 741. Oh man, the Matrix is listening.
Now, the 147 isn't a prime number, and the only reason why I was bringing that up is because it really dates back to Manly P. Hall and his study on Lucifer, because the 147 is just an anagram and a mix-up for 174, or lutetium, the element on the periodic table, that ties you to Lucifer with an atomic mass of 174. So Manly P. Hall believed this 174 or 471 or any mix-up of those three numbers to be a direct tie to the light bearer and the light bringer, Lucifer. So that's why I didn't know if anybody else had maybe heard that or saw that.
I have not, but I do want to let everyone else know that just came in the chat. Vasier or Maddie Pinche Gordo, and Rico Connor. If you guys want to unmute yourselves and join the conversation, you can do it anytime. Yeah, you don't have to be muted. This is like, a community, so feel free to talk. And I have to take this call, so I'm gonna disconnect, but the chat is open. You guys can have, whatever amount of time you want on it. Enjoy your conversation, guys.
Another thing about the number 147 is the highest score you can get in the game called snooker.
The game called snooker?
Yeah, have you ever heard of snooker?
No, sir.
It's like billiards.
Oh, it's like billiards, like pool.
Yeah, an English snooker game.
Okay.
So we have a red and black ball and like green and yellow and
So like how football in other countries is called, or football in America and other countries is called football.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's,
Soccer. I mean, soccer.
Playing is 147.
Yeah. Huh.
But there must be some sort of esoteric meaning to it, because there's a triangle of like red balls, and there's a blue ball just above the red ones, and there's a yellow, green, and a brown one. There's a pink one, and there's a black one, and you play with a white one.
Huh.
So yeah, it's just like.
Yeah, I definitely have to check it out.
Yeah, it might be some planetary kind of like meanings behind like the different colour balls.
Yeah, hey guys, how's it going? Maddie here.
Hey, Maddie. Blessed. How are you?
I just wanted to add on to the whole mythology talk. I put in Gnosis under the Discord group a link that I had to an author named Edith Hamilton. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with her, but that was recommended to me. I just haven't, jumped on that yet, but I just thought since you guys were talking about that, I'd push that author forward.
And is that IDITH? Because I'm writing this down.
Yeah, EDITH, and then Hamilton.
I'll put the link in the chat.
Awesome. Appreciate that.
Whoever was the one that was, there it is.
I'm getting to it.
And then whoever was talking about homeschooling their kid or whatnot.
That was me.
That was you, yeah. I listened to another podcast that I've recommended here before called Crow 777 Radio.
Crow
and,
777.
Yeah, I'll put that in the chat too, just because with education stuff, it's like a huge like platform, and podcasts that they have people on that talk about different topics and homeschooling and education, and they're definitely on the same wavelength as our group, the Wolf Pack or whatnot. It's just they're not quite there yet on certain topics. So I've asked both sides of getting Jordan on with them, but when it talks about the crypto, they still are kind of They get that it's a big psyop, but they don't want to take advantage of it, kind of thing. So
it hurts, when you tell somebody and you break their heart and they got this reality of something, and you tell them, hey, it's blockchain is the next slavery system, they don't want to hear that.
Oh, I mean, and they know, this Crow group, like, they understand what it is. They just don't want to even talk about it, even if there is ties to mythology, ties to all these like bigger,
it's not sexy. Yeah, it is. It doesn't get them the following. You're right. I mean, yeah, they don't want to talk about it.
There's proof. Some plain sight.
Yeah.
The way I read it.
It's only for the us few to see,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, and they get it too. Like, that's the thing. They just don't want to fully understand it, right? They just know that, it's another way of taking your freedom away, but they just don't want to accept that, like, hey, this is what's gonna happen, like, the ball keeps rolling kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll believe it when it smacks them in the face, like, C-19 did, or whatever,
No, I'm trying to say that they do believe it, like, they...
No,
they
I know.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, they'll believe it. They'll believe it when they're tired of not believing it enough, and it smacks them in the face, and then they're like, okay, this is it. And I've wasted all these years not believing.
But what do they expect to do about it? Like, what's their plan B of it?
Well, with like education and like with people with these podcasts and stuff, what I understand is like we're both on like the same wavelength kind of thing. We're already open-minded. It just takes a little bit more time for people to understand things. Or what I do is I grasp a lot of information within these podcasts and then share it up to what Jordan talks about and other people on YouTube. Right, so then you get a way better understanding of things because you're taking two sources in from slightly different perspectives, but still will help you, act on it.
So, Maddie, would you say that we're all basically, you believe we're kind of like heading to the same destination and journey, but walking a different path to get there?
Well, like with education, I guess everyone has a different. Everyone has
a chance to get to the same place.
Yeah, and everyone's end game's different. I think everyone's like,
right.
It's like, it's kind of about spiritual growth because the more content and the more physical education that you get, it's in the same spot.
I'm sorry, I have no idea what she said. I only speak a little bit of fluent other languages.
You need to just
I just muted that person,
Yeah, James. I just muted James. I think that's where it's coming from.
Volume down a bit.
Yeah. But I wanted to say I'm sorry for not coming out, Pinchy Gordo, and I'm sorry if I'm slaughtering your name last night. I was so looking forward to your presentation, but I was at work, and would love. I talked to D Vortex already, and would love to get together sometime and maybe do a round two. And I was so interested in what someone said. You said not your keys, not your crypto, not your server, not your data. And someone that's into developing his own website and content. I'm very interested in what I heard about you. I just wanted to shout that out to you.
All right. Thanks. You sent me a request.
A friend request just a few minutes ago. Yes, sir.
All right. I accepted that. Reach out to me. Tell me a little bit more about your project, and we can go from there.
Awesome. Great. Appreciate it. Looking forward to it.
All right. Great. See ya.
See ya. All right. So what are y'all doing
I
tonight?
guess getting back to what you were saying is, I think like everyone's gonna max out on what they're capable of like learning, right? I feel like most people in their code will push them, to different levels of understanding with certain things, but I guess the greatest lessons are the simplest ones, so everyone can reach those at different times of their life and not even realize it, kind of thing. It just depends on different aspects of the person.
Yeah. I mean, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. That person has to have the willpower, the dedication, determination to get up every day and, strive to be better than the person they were the day before. So I can totally see what you're saying there, and I agree there.
It's important not to judge those people too, because they might not ever get to the level of awareness that you have with your reality and what's around you with other people, right? And that's totally cool, and that's one thing that I think people that become awake, or whatever the term is, expanding, I like to get the term expanding their consciousness kind of thing. It's some people aren't destined to do that, so
Yeah. Some of us are built with that antivirus software. Some of us are built with the ability to just be non-player characters. And I hate to use that term, but I just believe some people are perfectly programmed. Like, they don't care to know the truth, or they don't care to think outside the box. They just want to work their 9 to 5 or go to school and just live their casual life, where we want to be pioneers and wolves and leaders. I don't know. That's how I see it.
But we probably lived that life before, We've
What?
lived that life.
Well, they're all mirror reflections of ourselves. Exactly. Like, exactly, they're mirror reflections of ourselves. If we really are in a
myself in another life.
Yeah, if we really are in a universe, then we're all one. One verse,
so
one
like,
song,
you,
one
the
sound.
guy who's non-enlightened, you got to say that was me. That is me. I am that person
Yeah.
as well.
Because we were all that person at one point before we quote unquote woke up, etc. Whatever term you use, nomenclature.
yeah, I totally get what you're saying too. Like, sometimes I have that experience where I just, I guess for me it's all about kind of now understanding and feeling out, like, when I get to that understanding with other people and how that makes me feel through, like, the vibrations. But, like, I've got that before, of, like, looking into someone else and being like, oh, okay, this is me too. But I feel like that takes a while for someone to, get that feeling again. It's a spiritual feeling, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to believe that it was a straight path we walked on that journey, but now I realize it's a spiral, that we're just going to keep coming back to those hurts, habits, and hang-ups, or those denials, or those whatever obstacles that we got to hurdle. The path is no longer straight to me. It's a spiral that I got to keep coming back and bettering myself on the places I've been before, or where I fell, or maybe I achieved something. Can I do it better this time? I've learned that I believe this path of life is a spiral, and it's just like the Ouroboros, the never-ending story.
I think another point to take is like, are we following a path that was made for us, or are we laying the path for ourselves, sort of thing? Do you want to be, who's building this road? Is it our road, or is it somebody else's road?
I've said that before. I walk the path untooken. Like, if you come to a fork in the road, go a different way and leave a trail. I tell my son that all the time.
Yeah, I know what you're saying about like being like on the fence of, oh, am I doing this or is this being done to me kind of thing. I think you're trying to get at something like a little bit more deep there, because sometimes you go through life and you're responding to your environment and things that are happening to you, and you kind of feel like deep down internally like this is what you're supposed to do, listen to my higher self, do it. And then after you make that bigger decision, you look back and you think like, was that me doing it, or was that the path that I had to take, or did I actually make that path out?
Is it predestined? Like they always told us for over 400 years in multiple cultures. Like, I don't want to get religious, but like the Bible says, it's all planned out for us. It's predestined. Is it something like Pareto's law, 80-20, 80%, 20%? Like we have 20% chance to manipulate our timeline, but 80% of it's manipulated, planned out for us. Is that why we're all here today? I think I look at it like that, like you're saying, like, if it makes sense.
Well, it's like you hear people all the time say, listen to your higher self, listen, to what pulls you in that direction, even if it's uncomfortable.
I say that.
Right? And like, how much is that in relation to higher, like is that higher self? Is that the true like internal dialogue that you have with oneself?
I believe it is. Like I preach the higher self because it's what I've came to believe. But I also believe
the feeling of your heart when you move into your heart. That's when you
right
become more
heart brain coherence, not just the heart space, but with the heart brain coherence. You get out of that left logic hemisphere of the brain. You combine the two hemispheres together with your heart, and you're in a state of neutrality, bliss. Listening to your true self. That's why I preach the higher self.
and it becomes more of intuition. You're following.
Exactly. It's like a remembering. It's like an unlearning and a remembering. Like, wow. It's like when you lost your car keys and you're in a hurry because you got to get to work, and it's like, oh, I remember where I put them. That's what I came to when I started to let go of the groupthink and the ideologies of the world and this, that, and the third, and I started listening to my heart with my brain, heart-brain coherence, and I found my true calling myself.
The great thing about that car key analogy is sometimes when you're desperate to find it, all you have to do is disengage from that thought process of trying to find it so hard, take yourself out of it, and then it'll appear, or that thought will come, or that knowing where it is will just appear in your brain, and then you can go grab it. It's sometimes like, honestly, having that idea, and then just I don't know if people have these examples too, but sometimes at the start of the day I'll think about someone, or be drawn to something that I want to happen in my life, and then totally forget about it, and then by the afternoon I'll just let myself go into regular mode, and then it'll happen. It's kind of like just let things happen. Trust your intuition.
Right. I concur.
Yeah, where's everyone from?
I'm Eastern NC, North Carolina, United States.
England, the finest country of them all. Whereabouts?
Yeah, with the most fruit of them all, yeah.
No,
A
go.
place called Worcester.
Mexico here.
Delaware.
A big, a lot of history around like the Civil War happened in Worcester, with a lot of royal connections as well. I've forgotten the whole story. Oliver Cromwell hid in our city basically when the Protestants and the kings were fighting for power, and when they had the big parliament overthrow him. King Charles III ran away and hid in Worcester, and Oliver Cromwell came and found him.
Is that under Birmingham?
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright. Cool. I'm in Canada. Canmore, Alberta, if anyone knows that. It's in the mountain.
I'd love to go there. I mean, I went to Toronto. Been to Toronto.
I want to go to
Oh,
Canada too. I want to go to England, Canada. A few places y'all mentioned you're from.
I want to go to. I'm weirdly drawn to Winnipeg. I don't know why, but I need to go to Winnipeg.
Oh my gosh, Winnipeg, that's hilarious. It's like, it's kind of just stuck in the middle of the prairies. Like there's nothing around, and
That's
it's
just nothing.
so cold and windy in there.
Maybe you go and live there, you know, like it's that kind of place.
Just be a nomad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you drive 3 hours or 2 hours north from Winnipeg, and you're in the middle of nowhere, like just flat everywhere. And it's
Also,
about
no
like,
mountains.
no, not in Winnipeg at all. No, you're still in the prairies. Like it's pretty cool living in Canada because I lived in Ontario, and then I drive out west to the mountains. So you go through, northern Ontario. That's completely different, like terrain and prairies, and then you go from the prairies into the mountains where I am. And basically where I am is right now is the entrance into the Rocky Mountains on the Canadian side.
That's so dope. The way you were describing it, I was like, that sounds like the part of Canada that I'm near. Because I'm in Wisconsin, and yeah.
Cheesehead.
You're from Wisconsin.
Yeah, I know Wisconsin. I have friends there.
Did y'all know Wisconsin used to be the North Pole for like 600 or 6,000 years before the pole shift happened a long time ago?
I did not.
Yeah, look at the Adam and Eve project that was patented and released by the CIA. Try and look it up online sometime, and it shows Wisconsin used to be the North Pole. It's crazy.
That's why the people there are like pretty, like, how to say, like they're so used to the ice.
Oh boy, it's gonna be a rabbit hole, isn't it?
Well, we are in the year of the rabbit, so I mean, why not?
Yeah, that's gonna be. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I believe it's called the Adam and Eve project. Was patented by the CIA,
Found it.
but it's called pole shift. It's known as pole shift, like to so-called truth seekers or whatever. But it's the Adam and Eve project, and it's very deep and long, and but it shows like multiple places that are said to have hailed the North Pole around the world, and Wisconsin was one of them. Cheeseheads.
Yeah.
Very curious where.
But yeah, I know I'm full of useful facts.
I found one CIA document. I'm not sure if this is the same thing. It's just called the Adam and Eve story.
Yeah, DuckDuckGo is usually where I go to find it. But it's been a few years. I don't know if they've wiped it off or not. Everything like that's kind of getting distorted. But there's a guy I've followed for years on Facebook, and he has his own website and YouTube, but he's called Tommy Truthful. He actually had an interview with Waters and Donut not too long ago. But he talks a lot about it. But it's very interesting. They show it in plenty of movies, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into it. Oh, yeah, it's a big dog.
Yeah, it's a large docket. You'll be reading for days.
Yeah. Well, it's.
Do you think some of these like CIA projects are put out there to kind of like distract and mislead?
Right. It's like the flat Earth globe Earth that we know the Pentagon gave us just to cause distraction, confusion.
Yeah, because that came out like 2012, 2013.
Right.
Like, around about what time? And like I just knew straight away that was like something was up. That didn't come from, came from somewhere like
Yeah.
unorganic sort of thing.
Just
Just put out there to kind of, because a lot of truthers were like coming together on Twitter at the time. It
Em-
really seemed to like throw a spanner in the works and like really put two camps on it
right.
in the truther community. And
I don't know, for me, the main thing about the Earth is that, like, for me, it's not flat, and it's definitely not round.
Well, you are Earth. You are the Earth.
Like, okay, like, all that is fine. Like, that is like next level. Okay, so
Right.
what I'm talking about is like, see, the thing is, I come from India. Okay, so I have documents which predate Jesus. Okay,
Right.
my family has
Right.
documents which predates Jesus. Okay, because we belong to a very ancient priest class. Okay, so there are many temples like which are named after my like forefathers and stuff like that. So the thing is, there is like a lot of scientific literature when it comes to space, and there was no incentive for them to lie about it. You get my point, right? It was written like 3,000 years ago. You get my point, right? So for
Yeah,
me, the thing
yeah.
is whether you can go out or not. That is the big question. Whether it exists or not is not the question for me. Like that's all it is for me. Like it's more about like all this moon landing and SpaceX and all that kind of stuff. That is what I don't believe.
it's all just a distraction, isn't it, really?
Yeah, exactly. And anyway, if you care about the shape of the Earth, then you don't have enough things to do in this world.
I think it's the main point is just to make communities so small that they feel that they're insignificant on the grand scheme of things, but
Right.
when the individual's actually the
Would-
most powerful thing.
Do y'all believe in a self-fulfilling prophecy that if enough people believe the Earth is flat, then it will be flat, or if it is a globe, then it will be globe, or that if it's a whatever, it will be? Like, do you believe in self-fulfilling prophecies? That there's maybe an agenda they've always tried to push?
I believe in how to say, like, for you it may be like that, but it's like how to say, I don't think it's like how to say the Mandela effect thing, right? Like things merge together and all that kind of stuff. So I feel that in the context of group think maybe it's possible, but it's not. It cannot actually change something. Like that's the whole thing. It's more about the perception of that which you can change.
Right.
What
Yeah.
about you create your reality, your own reality? You're a creator.
I believe that. I believe that.
I believe that completely.
And how's that? I mean, I understand in the predestination, like what you're talking about.
You were talking about when I said that earlier?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I never thought I'd be doing what I'm doing now. And I knew about the numbers and decoding and everything. And, you know, I read the Bible growing up because my grandfather and, you know, anyways, long story short, I started the Daily Candle Closed News on Facebook. And one day I decoded my name and I decoded the Daily Candle Closed News and everything. And I call my viewers pioneers, and like it all had matching numerology to my name and what I was doing in life at the time and when I started it. And it was like, okay, this is predestination. This is Pareto's Law. This is 80-20. Like, I'm literally filling out my script. Like, I'm creating my own reality and becoming the architect, the alchemist, because in Genesis 1:26-27, a truth is telling us that we were made in the image of the Elohim, the gods. We were gods and goddesses with amnesia, and until we woke up to that, we didn't understand. We were asleep. And now I'm the architect. I'm not saying I'm God, the God, but I'm a co-creator, creating my own reality.
Creator.
Yeah,
You're a creator.
yeah.
That makes a ton of sense. So for me, how I put it, like from my perspective, is that like I came to like many things happen on the second for me. Okay, so my birthday is on the second. Like there is a ceremony which happens in my particular religion. So that was arranged on second for me. Then I arrived in US on the second. Then I got my job on the second, and I joined my job on 2/22/2022, which is
Oh,
the
wow.
only two
Wow.
way. So that is the thing, right? So that is when I knew that okay, there is some kind of script, you know, like when I got the job and when I was doing the job, and one one day I was like, okay, let's see all the things, let's see what happened till now, like that kind of stuff. So I was like, everything is on the second. So today is the second. You get my point? I'm talking about it.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
I usually don't come out to the evening hangout. Like I'll be in the gym or I'll be doing some random thing. Today I was like, okay, let's go here.
it just all ties back to numbers. Numbers are our one and only universal language.
All this number, yeah. So, like the most crazier, even more crazier thing for me is that, like, how do I put it? Like with the number 2, right? So every event which happened in my life was associated with the number 2. So that's like pretty. And the crazy thing is, last year was trash in the job. Okay, so this year has started off really nicely. Okay. Because it's the second year,
Yeah, second year
like,
at the job.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like everything is like, how do I put it? Like everything mingles, like everything perfectly mingles inside. Like that's the thing. And my name and my thing and like where I'm from, all of those things, they connect somewhere or the other. Like some way it connects.
Yeah, it definitely all connects.
But follow the plans, man. Keep following the plans.
Yep. Yeah, the only thing which is not true is that I don't have a partner. That's the only thing which is not true yet.
Yeah, well, you can always, look at your charts and see what your matches are and what planets align and when things might work for you.
Happen, like I think it'll all happen.
Yeah, exactly. There's no point trying to rush things or trying to force it.
Yeah, I'm not rushing at all. I'm like 30 years old. So.
Yeah.
I'm 30 in September.
Yeah, Gomes, you might not have a relationship partner, but you got 9 viewing right now with you, right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got a family here.
When did you guys feel that like there was like a script or there was like certain things going on? Like I just want to hear all the others.
Yeah, somebody go ahead. Well, I guess I'll start.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead,
Oh.
Clementine. Go ahead.
Yeah, Cromanara, are you trying to talk? I can kind of hear you, but
Yeah.
I want to just make sure your mic's working.
I thought he was. I can barely hear him.
Yeah, there's something going on.
I right-clicked on his name and turned his user volume all the way up to 200%. I don't know if that helps.
No, it's just his voice is coming like every 4 to 8 seconds. Like there is some sound from his side
There's a new message. Maybe you typed it out. Oh, okay. No, that was Clementine. But
if you wanna, yeah, perfect. You're typing. You got this. You go ahead, Abraham.
Okay. But I mean, numbers for me, you guys, has always been there. Since I was a young kid. I got a high IQ. I didn't know what that meant at the time, but I just knew it meant that I was what they said was above average. And the only subject I ever cared about was math, because I know numbers are everything. We use it every day in our life to tell what time it is, even though that's a man-made construct, and we'll talk about that at a later date. But we use it to count money and to forecast the weather, and it's more than just fractions and equations and rationality. It's always true, and it's irrefutable, undeniable. And numbers, I knew, was the only language that I could speak with someone, whether they can understand my English language or I can understand their French or whatever. If I wrote a number down and we talked with numbers, then we can find a way to communicate. That saying money talks, etc. But so at a young age, I excelled at math, and I always started seeing that there was always just weird numbers, like 1968, they coined the term coronavirus. The same year that George W. Bush Sr. Graduated Skull and Bones. And then 33 years later, in 1968, they also started the plans for making the trade centers. And then 33 years later, they bring them down. And his son did it. It was under George Bush Sr. or Jr. And so I always started seeing these weird connections to the numbers at a very young age. Like that 9/11 event was really where I started to like try and start figuring out, well, why did why did this happen to a T, like it was scripted. And so from then on, I just kept deep diving into numbers and seeing that math was, well, everything. And that's kind of where I got into it, the numbers, Gomes.
Nice, like it's good to hear that, because how do I put it? Like for me, like even though I'm from India, I suck at math. Okay, so like relatively I suck at math because I do work in analytics, so I can't be that bad at math. So the thing is that, like, for me it was more about, how do I put it, the numbers was like just showing in the face, from a young age. I understood that there was something magical to numbers, because I used to remember people's phone numbers and that kind of stuff, and like some people's phone numbers used to always resonate with me, and if I think about a phone number or something, they will actually call me, or they would actually kind of be much more agreeable with me or something like that. There used to be some powerful connections, with those numbers. So I felt that, okay, there is something with numbers. But to be really honest, for me, the thing with numbers, it all popped when it was more about when I was watching sports. So I used to be a huge soccer fan. Okay, so crazy soccer fan, not even like a normal soccer fan. Okay?
Go.
So the thing is that, like, I used to kind of predict scores and stuff like that by seeing certain things. So, for example, they'll show some statistics, okay, like that there are some, like these many percentage of times this happened, or this player has done this much shot attempts, or something like that they'll show, okay. After that, I'll say that, okay, there's gonna be a goal now, or there'll be something which will happen right now, something like that. So that's how I kind of understood when that started working slightly. Then I understood, okay, there is something behind these numbers, like that's why they're flashing those numbers. Then of course, like I got into the rabbit hole, like with all the gematria and all that kind of stuff. So it became even more crazy after that.
Yeah, I was always the same. I was just like predict scores and like kind of have a sixth sense to when a goal was going to be scored, or like if a team was going to win by a certain amount. But
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My most epic call was UEFA Champions League, Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid. So they were like in the 93rd minute when that corner was there, I told that Real are gonna score. Like nobody believed me. Like everybody was like, okay, Real lost. Like, and because there were so many like people, Real Madrid, Barcelona, right? So like. So like I was like, okay, Real are gonna win the game, like in the 92nd minute. So they were like, how are they gonna win? I'm like, yeah, they're gonna win. Like even at that time, I didn't even know anything about gematria or anything. So it was just an intuition, that there was something wrong.
Cordy G.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
What's up? How we living?
How we doing?
Blessed. Excuse me.
Glad to hear it. Feeling blessed as well.
Thursday, Thors-Day. Cordy G, I think we found a new movie for tomorrow night, movie night earlier. We was talking about it. You were watching? But earlier we were talking about maybe watching Fight Club.
Oh, hell yeah. I've watched that movie so many times that I'm always down to watch it.
Yeah.
So good.
With a group of decoders. Oh, man.
Oh, shit, it's about to get real.
I think D Vortex or Clementine already said they were going to add it to the suggestion, so it's probably already got a few likes. Yeah, there she goes. On the ball. Thursday Thors night. Thursday Thors-Day special, right before Friday movie night.
I know. This is testing my memory. Being like, I have to always, because time is so hard to keep track of these days. And Friday sneaks up on me so fast that I was like, shit.
Yep.
Movie night tomorrow. I have to remember. I have to remember that we have to pick a movie. So it was perfect timing.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Time. Just the weird nature of it, especially recently. It's just been all fucking wonky.
I mean, it's just the age we're entering, you know, the golden age, Aquarius age, whatever you want to call it, you know. You see the cattle and the ants and all the animals moving in circles and all, and it's times. Some people will say it feels like it's speeding up. To me, it does. I mean, lately, like the past 2 years has flown by for me. Maybe it's because I'm doing what I love now, but I don't know. But like, yeah, there's something up with this so-called time that they've had us trapped under for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't believe in it no more, but I use it, you know, to my advantage. Like I manifest when I see the numbers on the clock, like certain ones, you know. I'm manifesting my reality. 3, 6, 9 times a day.
Yeah. I think Clementine and I have spoken about this before, that as we increasingly separate ourselves from the mainstream sort of frequency, you know, everything that's going on, whether that be, you know, psyops, manipulation, whatever sort of prana harvesting they're doing, we're just not having it. And as we become further and further separated, the time aspect of it, for us, it starts to become like more fluid and elastic. Like we're not stuck in a certain routine. We're not building our lives around calendars and certain times of day. As we get into like our flow state, as you mentioned, Abraham, like that, we're dialed into our purpose. It's like, it's natural. At first I was kind of scared of it. I was like, yo, where the fuck is my life going? You know?
I was too. I was right there.
Yeah.
I was right there too. Stuck.
Yeah.
I wanted to hit that exit plan, you guys. I've already mentioned this in my testimony on my channel. I've said it before on this. Before, you know, I was ready to hit the exit plan. You know, I found my way.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah.
I was blind, but now I see. I learned how to view that Ajna chakra, that pineal gland, that 6th chakra.
Yeah. It's a powerful thing. I'm immensely grateful for this community, because I'd be so lost. I'd still be on my path of awakening, but I'd still be in the like blaming people shit.
Right.
Like I'd still be in the Zachary and no offense of Gematria
right.
effect dudes,
Right.
be in that like Jesuits. Oh, and it's the Illuminati, they're all in on it, you know? But then as you start to really fall in love with the process of decoding from so many different angles, you start to see that no, there's no evil, you know, like Dr. Evil layer where people are just like, yeah, flash the 33.
Yeah,
now flash the 23. Yeah, that'll show them, like, you know, no. it's the entire reality itself that is scripted.
Yeah,
The reason why the majority of these numbers are popping up is because it's a part of the overall code.
right.
You know, the reality, it's fluid, it's the simulation, and it's presenting this because it gives itself away.
And
it's not that I do believe that a small percentage of it is intentional by a group of people that are actively manipulating the code, but a very small percent, you know.
And that's what I was gonna say. I do believe a very few people know the significance of how to use this to their advantage, and manifest their own reality. Like my favorite is COVID. Like COVID is creating our vision in detail. What do you think these folks been doing? Why can't we create our vision in detail? We can. It's all spell casting, word spells. It's break it down. Let's go. Feeling like that old coach again. I'll behave. but yeah, I mean, I totally agree with what you were just saying. It's just a small few that can use this to their advantage, but it's not the Illuminati, it's not the Brotherhood of Death, even though I love to use them on my channel. It's kind of been that 322-223 number that's really made my channel pop and get me to where I am today, but I know that's the 13th Lucas number. Again, tying back to math. Irrefutable, undeniable, and it's usually all tying back to astrology too, and these people know that. So that's where it's amazing.
Yeah, and the system of astrology that they use is not what they give the masses. It's not this happy-go-lucky, here's your horoscope for the day, here's your life path, just follow your dreams, and this is what you're destined. No. They know what astrology truly is because they have the grounding in this ancient mythology. And you look at these Babylonian, Sumerian, Hermetic texts,
Mesopotamian,
yeah, they all point to the same sort of creation story that, and this is dark, right? But we're all grown-ups here, and we can take it. The clear pill is that it is a part of this passive system of manipulation, right? That it is the sort of governing principle that passively, and the moon is the same way. The moon is not what we've been told it is, and it's a part of this system. It's a part of the code. It is the sort of motherboard of this matrix in a way that, and it's not to be glorified, right? Just like the ancient myths aren't to be glorified, they're just to be unpacked for the truth that they present. And it's, if anything, I see my astrological chart as the blueprint for me to break that code, right? I see it as a limitation that I can turn and alchemize into an opportunity, right?
Right.
But yeah, and so it's the same thing, and it's exactly what you're saying, that they're just magicians, they're wizards. They know the true astrology, Babylonian astrology, like ancient, actual positioning of the luminaries in the sky at specific times, the as above corresponding directly to the as below. And the tropical astrology does not account for that precession of the equinoxes and what is actually happening in the sky. It's a program that's running, right? And it's what's been given to us as a sort of, like it's like the Hollywood movie of the fucking truth. It's like, it's like the Matrix movie is like what we get, like it's kind of a shitty analogy, but like it's the predictive programming of astrology. It's like the tropical.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I was doing this amazing decode, and I was talking to Rebecca last night, and I realized that I was in tropical astrology. I was looking at Pluto entering Aquarius and it being a massive synchronicity, and I was finding all sorts of the 322, 223 connections you were mentioning, Abraham, with these recent train derailments, especially.
Wow, really? I'd love to get that from you.
Oh, I'll send it to you. But at 32, just projections 32 days before, we're entering in tropical Pluto into Aquarius. For the first time, by the way, in tropical again, I know it has its limitations, since the American Revolution and the French Revolution. So it's a big deal if we're in the tropical system, and I was finding 32 and 23 connections with these recent train derailments, and I was making the statement that Pluto sort of dredges up the sort of negative of a sign, you know, and Aquarius is a lot about technological advancement. The last time Pluto entered Aquarius, we entered into the Industrial Revolution.
Correct.
And what was the main source of transport and travel and interconnectedness was the railway system.
And the not the railway system and the boxcar, shipping
Correct.
container. Yeah. Yes.
So it was all ground transportation.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Earth. And now we're seeing a sacrifice of that older technology as we enter the age of Aquarius, which is an air sign.
Yes.
So I was finding all sorts of connections there.
An air sign ruled by who?
By Saturn.
Yes. Father Time, Kronos, Odin, the timekeeper. Yeah. Yeah.
Who is the land, right?
Yeah.
Saturn, the harvest and the cycles of time, seasonally as well. Saturnian is usually associated with that, the winter, and that sort of coldness and darkness of that time. But yeah, no, there's an infinite amount of ways to sort of unpack this, or skin the cat. I know Water says that. I hate using that term though.
Yeah.
I hate that term.
I got a cat, and I think they're ancient. You know, I love her to death.
We don't skin cats here.
No, I don't. I found her in the engine of my car one day. After I got home from work, it was raining, and I guess maybe she was, while I was at work, like hid up under my car or something. She was a small kitten. I got home, and my neighbors come banging on my door and saying, "It's a cat in the car." So I had to pull out the engine of my car. She was all greasy, and I had to clean her up, and I just kept her ever since and named her Jazzy.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I believe that cats come into your life. Always has been my belief to help you transition and battle a demon or a time period in your life that you're going through. And I found her in my engine of my car, so she came to me, I think. And it was right before I lost 7 close people of mine in the last year. So it's like, yeah, she's been my companion.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know what that's like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're ancient. Look at Egypt and everything, and look at the cats. Like, I mean, they're just, I don't know. There's something there.
For sure. Look at the way they act. Most of them. You know, like all entitled and, you know, I don't want to say entitled, but just like.
Well, they are.
They're self-aware and very intuitive.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
but they know their power.
I was talking to somebody at work today because he was like, "What word do you hate?" And I was like, "Owner." Like, people think they own their cats or dogs, and it's like, who owns who? If you gotta walk it, you gotta bathe it, you gotta feed it, you gotta take care of it. Like, you gotta clean out the litter box. Like, who owns who? Like.
Yeah, for sure. And it's I think the majority of people see it the exact opposite and largely incorrect way, which is like, oh, look how lucky they are to have us. They'd be so lost, and we give them food and we give them a warm place to sleep. It's like, no. If you allow these creatures to teach you, it is invaluable, the sort of life experience and lessons you'll learn from them.
Yeah.
Dogs learn about the power of just bliss and being present and unconditional love.
Right.
And from cats, you have the same sort of lesson of intuition, right? They're just very intuitive beings.
Yeah.
They're not worried, and they're very present as well. And there's a powerful lesson to learn from all animals, from the animal kingdom in general, I think. If you allow them to teach you, I mean, but most people see it as ownership, you're right, you know?
I agree. And I did a breakdown of the Avatar 2 movie. I did my own, like, what I believe James Cameron was portraying to the people in this movie. And I believe he was telling us that we got to get back in touch with our spirit animals and nature, and you know, and so I've got that uploaded on my Facebook and but I really think like there's so much truth in that. Like I believe that's how we used to be, in tune with nature, in tune with the plants and animals that used to produce actual herbs and medicines, not petroleum-based drugs given to us from the Zionist Bolshevik revolutions of the world. But you know, like we were in touch with our animals, etc.
Yes.
And
They're,
we got to
we
get
view
back to
them
that.
yeah, we view them as an aspect of ourselves, really.
Yeah.
As an extension of us, right?
Right.
Like you
I
look
do at
into-
least.
Yeah, you look into a cat's eyes or a dog's eyes.
I see
and
I see the universe.
You see your own. Yeah, you see. It's a crazy feeling. I think most people would think we're crazy, but you have that resonation, and you just see it. That pure sort of connection, you know. And it's because the ancients realized that all of these animals were an aspect of us, you know. There's something to teach us there that we've been disconnected with, and it's a way of integrating it into the wholeness of ourselves.
Yeah, I hear her downstairs meowing now. She's down there with my son. He's playing Fortnite, I think. She knows we're talking about her.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my cat used to wait by the door, like when I was coming home from work. She knew when I was coming home, sort of thing. She'd be waiting there like 10 minutes before I'd even get home.
Mine jumps in the shower with me sometimes. Never seen a cat do that.
Like 18 years, 17 years. She's so old now. But like my life wouldn't have changed. Like it would be so different without her. Like oh my god.
Right.
She taught me so much. So
Yeah.
much patience. Like I would have hurt myself a lot more if I didn't have a cat. And now I've got a dog, and I've only had that for like 9 months. But it's a new chapter for me.
Yeah, I love dogs too. I haven't had another one since I had one quite a few years ago, but she passed away. She got sick, and like it was hard for me, you know. So I was like, you know, I can't get another dog, and then yeah, I didn't plan to get the cat. Like I said, you heard the story. She came to me, so.
Yeah, this dog just came to me pretty much. Like I had 2 cats, I was happy with them too.
Yeah, I'd rather rescue, you know, than buy or whatever. I'd rather, you know, rescue or run my own animal rescue one day.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Run an animal shelter or something.
Let's get together.
Not together.
Therapy kind of like for children, like so kids can learn with the animals. I
Yeah.
think that's the greatest teacher, because I think the message is lost when we try and teach children. So like they can just learn the things on their own if they're given the tools, almost. You know? We can push them in the right direction, but we don't need to teach them anything. They know more than us half the time.
Right, yeah, they can teach us more than we can
Yeah,
teach them.
they can teach us.
Same with
Just enabling the children, and I think animals kind of bring, well, for some children, not all children, but you know, a lot of children, it brings a lot of things out of the children, you know, helps them get their thoughts out and their feelings, and, or just deal with like traumas, I guess.
I can concur to that. Not as a child though. I mean, I had animals growing up that helped me as a kid, you know. But my story is I did almost 8 years total in prison throughout my entire life. About to be 33 now. Been out 6 years, not at a single infraction since. Got full custody of my son, you know. Everything looks good, you know. But when I was in prison, I had the opportunity to work in a dog kennel and train dogs how to track escaped inmates. And so I got to feed them and take care of them, and you know, every day, 7 days a week for 28 months, they would get me and 4 other guys from the prison, and they would get us loaded up in the back of the truck. We'd go feed and take care of the animals, and they'd take us out in the middle of this like game warded area and swamp infested, like alligator infested just area around the prison in South Alabama. And they'd be like, all right boys, try and go home today. And we would take off, and we were taught to do like zigzag patterns and like jump over creeks and run through creeks and like just do any and everything we could to get away. And sometimes they'd leave us out there for 4, 6, 8 hours a day. And then once we heard the dogs, we'd finally get to a point that they'd tell us about, and we'd have to sit and wait. And we could be sitting there waiting in the middle of nowhere in the woods for hours. And once we heard the dogs, we had to pick up and start running again, because that would make a hot trail. You know, first the dogs were following a cold trail. That's why we were out there so long. And then once we heard them, we'd have to pick up and run off again, so it'd teach them how to pick up a hot trail. And just the 2 years that I was out there doing that, and just spending time with those dogs, learning their names, and like they became friends. They became like family. You know, I mean, I don't care what anybody says. They're just as human as we are. Like, we're the only species on Earth that pays to eat and live. You know, to survive. They just do it. You know, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think like observing nature, like, you know, you learn so much from just being with nature, just being at one with nature. You know, just takes us back to that natural way of being, I guess. Just brings us closer to source. Just understanding.
We become Jake Sully and Nateri
It's
again.
overcomplicate everything. Let's make everything too complicated. I think animals just are very simple, and they just reduce everything down to, you know, the bare essentials and just having fun, like playing, eating, and sleeping.
Yeah. They love that.
Yeah, maybe that's the most powerful lesson, is just play, you know?
Yeah.
You know? Be more, and that's what Jordan talked about. And we're just all about the game, right? We just become this game. We're not playing anymore.
Or we worry about the score.
Yeah, the scores, the winning, the losing, how much money is in my bank account, am I gonna have, you know, whatever.
Just play. Be the kid again. Like the Russian doll. You go through so many and so many and so many dolls until you get to the smallest one, and it don't open, and it's just a kid. Just become a kid again.
Mm-hmm.
You're just enjoying the moment, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
taking the most out of what you can see and just learning from it. And not being too worried about what happens and what's going to happen, just, you know, going with it. So I think that's what a lot of people get worried about, is just, you know, just doing, just trying new things, just...
Later, Pinchy Gordo. I'll send my stuff to you. I missed his event last night. Did y'all catch it?
Yeah, I saw a bit of it towards the end, but I need to see it again.
I was really.
Yeah, I saw pieces of it, but I was busy, so I couldn't stay for the whole thing.
Yeah, I was at work late. Wednesdays are a late day for me. Every day's a late day for me. But yeah. I hated that I missed it. I wanted to record it. I recorded this one just in case, so you all know. It's being recorded. D Vortex wanted me to record that one for everybody last night and post it in the general chat for everybody who wasn't able to come and watch it. You know, probably gonna try and start doing that like I did the movie night and the Super Bowl hangout and everything. Just try and start recording them for everybody when I can to make it, and you know, just post it back in the general chat for everybody to view.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I figured it's the least I can do. You know, I mean, especially if something valuable is talked about, you know, we can all go in and, you know, do our own due diligence, or, I don't know, I make mistakes a lot, so I like to go back and rewatch, learn from my mistakes, and go on. I'm one take uncut, just straight. You know, I don't edit none of my stuff. I don't even know how to edit a video. I just know how to press record and stop.
Yeah, I don't know about any of that shit.
Yeah.
I'm about it, about editing, and I'm working out. I'm trying to figure out my way around music, software, and recording on my computer. because I have all the knowledge. I play guitar my whole life.
Nice.
And now it's like this other hurdle, this other perceived obstacle, which is actually just my opportunity to learn something new and develop my skill. But I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
It's like a new language, you know?
Yeah. I got a couple of guys that rap that do their own like music producing on the computer and stuff sometimes, and I just never could understand how they. I don't know. I just didn't catch me. I'd love to DJ, but I don't know if I could sit there and produce my own beats and music and stuff like that. I can play the trumpet, but that's about it. But it's been years since I've done that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I just have to just like swallow my pride and stop being so stubborn and just ask people who already know what the fuck they're doing, you know?
Right,
So,
right.
Like me starting at square one and being like, oh, I'm gonna figure all this shit out by myself through YouTube, you know? It's like, get real, you know?
Yeah.
Just ask for help. That's what
Yeah.
that's what I need to do.
I just watch like tutorials and stuff. Like I'm self-taught everything, so you know, I mean, it's not much, it's not flashy, but it's like, I ain't gonna lie, I mean, it's changed my life. I'll say that. My work's changed my life, and it's helped other people start their own channel. A guy 45 minutes down the road, right here in North Carolina in Raleigh, started a podcast on YouTube called The Sandwich of Coherency, all because of the work he saw me doing on Facebook. And it's like, so my work's already accomplished. Like, I changed one person's life, and like, he's flourishing from it, and it's like, okay, you know, so, you know, that makes me feel good.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm thinking about starting my own channel as well, just doing podcasts and doing some decoding stuff. I want to get together with Casey and the Sunshine Band, who's in our community.
Right.
We had like a 2-hour conversation just this past weekend, and we talked about all sorts of crazy shit. So, and he was like, oh, we should just do like a podcast or something and pick a topic. And I'm like, hey, all right. And he's an amazing decoder as well. I'm just sort of scratching the surface and just following the thread, you know?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I use the analogy of like a loose thread in a sweater, and it's just like you just keep pulling it and pulling it and pulling it. It's like a never ending, and you just keep following the next thing, the next date connection, or the astrology, whatever it is, numerology, gematria. It's like, okay, yeah, this could go on forever.
Yeah.
But I'm having fun, so it doesn't really matter, you know?
Like, I thought I was doing good finding out about the Ides of March and the assassination of Julius Caesar and everything, and was going to put it in my next video and talk about it, and found some great connections to it with the spring equinox and everything coming up also in March, and Waters has it in his most current video, and it's like, oh, you know, it's like, but yeah, I usually
that's
just
beautiful though.
Yeah.
That you know, it
Yeah.
shows that you're vibing on that frequency. You know?
right.
That you're finding similar connections and following the same sort of trail.
Yeah, it's truly, I mean, it ties straight in there to the equinox, spring equinox, which is 5 days after the 15th, which is the Ides of March, and it's straight tying us into, which is, you know, Ostara, you know, or Easter really, but they celebrate it in April now, but it should be March 20th from my research, but yeah, so, and correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I had it pulled up
I think it
earlier.
changes in terms of lack of alignment with the Gregorian calendar. I guess it's
Right.
an astronomical phenomenon. I don't know if it's the moon or the sun or both, but yeah, it shifts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is just more reason why our calendar system is so dumb. It's like, you know, like, why do we celebrate New Year's on January 1st? There's no reason.
Yeah.
There's no
New Year's was yesterday. Like,
phenomenon
literally.
that would
New Year's was yesterday, March 1st. Like,
correct.
And yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's just kind of funny. You know, you just have to laugh.
Yeah, I do. I laugh, and I use all that, trying to express that, deeply, like repetitively, in my work, because like there's no truth to this calendar, and again, it's just they keep us stuck in this box, worrying about the next holiday coming up, where they want you to spend your money, you know what I'm saying? Give it back to the corporation. It's all nonsense. It's like get out of the box. Like, look at the screen right now. We're all in boxes. Why can't we be in circles? Why can't we be in a, all one in a circle? But, you know, Cordy G, that was you sharing Februous. Februous?
Oh yeah.
With
I
me?
was just looking shit online when you were talking, and I was like, "Yo, check this out." Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I just wanted to make sure, because, I was looking at that earlier, too, in a decode that I was doing, because it gave us that 43 that we get in Ostara, and we get that 43 in Ides of March, as well as Caesar or Julius, all giving us the 43, which is the 14th prime number, which is tying us into Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's 14 years old. So, I just thought that was kind of cool and crazy, because we're coming out of Februous, and heading into March, the Ides of March, and
Right.
we've had this 43 number since like the Super Bowl last year, be a huge number, the 14th prime. But yeah, so
Yeah, and the connection to what I was saying about Pluto Hades as well with February, the underworld, and also it's tied to finances and marketing and wealth. Interesting. And
Yeah.
then March, I assume, is tied to Mars, right?
March.
Marching into the new year.
Yes, it's
March.
March when you type it out gives you 43. So you can't make it up, and it's tied to Aries, the Rams,
Right.
or the Ram, and that's Aries, right? I don't know how to spell Aries, how they spell it.
I think there's a few different ways to spell it.
There
I've seen it
is.
also on the eye.
There is, but March gives us that 43, but that 43 ultimately ties us back into Lucifer. Lucifer gives us 43 in reverse full reduction, and that's, I mean, 4 plus 3 is 7, ultimately tying us into the, that biblical number, that's 7, but when you fully break it down, but yeah, so I mean, it's pretty deep. And I knew that was you that brought that up and to me, and I just wanted to make sure when I give a shout out one day for learning about it.
Oh no, it's all good, man. We're all one, anyways.
Yeah.
It's just information, anyways. But yeah, I appreciate the work that you've done too, because it's really inspired me, especially to dig into the dates more.
Yeah, I was digging into them earlier about today's date. I'll share the screen, actually. I was just looking at it anyway. But today is like an anagram date, like Waters was saying in his last video. But here's what I was just talking about. March giving us the 43, tying us into February, or Ostara, coming up on March 20th, which is...
The equinox.
Yeah, the spring equinox, or I don't know how to pronounce it in that language, but it's Ostara. But this is the goddess, the spring goddess, the spring New Year. But yeah, that's what I was looking into. But today's date, tying it back to the start of the Shemitah, or the end of the Shemitah, and the start of the Rosh Hashanah on the 25th of last year, and which led into the Jubilee. Today is 22 weeks and 4 days, and you all know Satoshi Nakamoto gives you 224. So I was watching Bitcoin today, honestly, and so I was just paying attention all day to this 224, 22 weeks 4 days from the start of Rosh Hashanah, today and tomorrow as well, if you were to continue to do it, or go to the end of the Shemitah and the end of the Rosh Hashanah and the start of the Jubilee, and take it all the way into, you know, the upcoming day tomorrow, 3-3, that very powerful 33 transmutation number, you get the 223 in the 223 year, skull and bones. So 157, the 37th prime number, that's the 12th. 37 is the 12th prime number, so that's tying us into rabbit, year of the rabbit. And this 62, well, the queen, she had her coronation on 6-2, and she was highly tied to that 62. When you type out platinum jubilee, you get the 62. She died in her platinum jubilee year, and it was, well, her 70th year reign. This day adds up to 49, which is the 7th square root, and we know that this also adds up to 13 in two different ciphers, which is the death card in the tarot. So I'm looking at tomorrow to be obviously a pivot date, because we know the markets are going to close heading into the weekend. It's 3-3, but it's
So
really
that's 3 days left in the year too.
yeah.
3-3.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's really like this 22 weeks, 3-day connection to the start of the Jubilee, which was my son's birthday. He turned 11 this year, this day, last year. So yeah. But that's how I view it, you know. So I was really just breaking down the days coming up today already, getting ready for my next video, and you know, just watching Bitcoin, see it's getting rejected from this 223 exponential moving average on the 2-hour time frame, and it's got to bounce off the 322 exponential. So I use the 2-hour time frame with these two exponentials to plan my moves with everything else, you know, the moon phases. We know our high came in on the 20th, the moon, and then since 223 we've just fell in a perpetual downtrend. I mean, from 223 to 224, again, Satoshi Nakamoto giving us 224, Bitcoin literally fell in 24 hours 3.22%. So like, it's all skull and bones, or the 13th Lucas number. It's all math, and you can't make it up. In one day it falls 3.22%. Like, come on. So I'm expecting we could possibly continue to ride this trend line down, especially as we approach the full moon, back down to this possibly 22,300, 223, you know. And it's just that simple. Horizontal trading ranges, full moons, new moons. I've got a fib pool, which that's right around the golden pocket, and a bearish fib pool, and accumulation fib pool from our most recent high. I know this is our higher high, but right now we're setting a higher low, but anything can happen in the matrix. So, you know, this 215 range, that's the sudden destruction range, and I've shared that before, because, you know, when you type out sudden destruction, you get 215, if I spell it correctly. 21,500. So pay attention to that range. So yeah. I mean, like, Jordan created a beast when he taught me the mythologies behind, like, the gnosis and knowledge and wisdom behind numbers and everything that I already knew. I just didn't know to add the mythologies to it, to be honest.
Yeah, you're doing awesome work. I appreciate you sharing this. It's inspiring, for real.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I mean, it's really, like I said, I just I take a lot of my mentors' collaborations and just put them all together in my videos. Sometimes they go to 45, an hour, a minute, an hour and a half, 3 hours long. Who knows? I mean, I take what they say that inspires me and I put it in my work, and I just go with it. And I mean, it's financially helped me secure a future for my family. Take care of my son, help provide for my mom, my sister. So I don't know. Hopefully, if everything works out great and we all go to the moon one day, or Mars or whatever, like everybody talks about. Then I'll be able to help. Yeah. What? Yeah. Win moon. But I don't know, man. If I'm able to just make some kind of wealth, I'm gonna leave a lot of it to my son and just try and change other people's lives somehow. That's my goal.
Beautiful.
I don't mind to work. I work every day. I've been broke, and crypto changed my life in 2020. I retired then. I chose to go back to work because I decided, I'm gonna go make some money and continue to do this again. So now I just go to work and preach joy over boredom instead of just over broke. I choose to work. So but there ain't no Donald Trump, there ain't no Joe Biden, there ain't no whoever you love or whatever coming out, no Elon Musk coming to your work and trying to help you do what they've done. You know what I'm saying? They're out here on this whatever. I'm trying to be one of those people that are in your restaurant or in your facility at your gas pump, pumping gas beside you, being like, hey, you can that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Anybody else want to talk about anything in particular? I mean, I know we're just all hanging out.
I'm just gonna stay muted up now because it's pretty late. I'm just gonna probably fall asleep in the next 10 seconds.
I heard that.
I'm just listening to you beautiful decoders, just tearing it up as usual.
Yeah.
Doing what you do, just making me, want to manifest my own reality. Just take off.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're very inspiring people. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
You too.
You are too, Chili.
Where are you, by the way?
I'm in England.
Okay, nice. What time is it there?
It is 13 minutes to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 13 minutes to 8 here in eastern North Carolina.
Well, yeah. Getting late, but I'm a bit of a night owl. I get my stuff done in the night time. I feel like I'm meant to be in the American time zone. It's like I kind of just naturally just fit into that time of the
Yeah, I hear that. I've been up since 1 a.m. my time. It's 8 p.m. Like I said, almost 8 p.m. now. So, yeah. Working all day. Taking care of the son. Homeschooling the son. Hanging out with you beautiful pioneers, wolves, divergence, glitches in the matrix.
Man, you're so inspiring. It's crazy.
Thank you. That's humbling. I really appreciate that. I'm just here to try and raise the frequency, raise the vibrations, hang out with beautiful people, like-minded individuals that just want to be the change that they want to see in the world right now today instead of waiting on a savior.
Yeah, because we've all got it in ourselves, but sometimes it just takes, takes remembering, doesn't it?
Correct.
We gotta keep reminding ourselves every day. If it's just a little mantra you keep telling yourself, or just a sticky note you put on the door, or different things, but keep telling yourself you're the greatest person alive.
I wake up every day doing that. I am the president of my own reality, and I listen to Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror, starting off. First thing when I'm washing my face, brushing my teeth, you know what I'm saying, and then it's Sam Cooke, A Change Gonna Come, you know, and we gonna be the change that's gonna come. We're gonna shatter this reality and dome that we live in. We're gonna shatter the firmament.
Hell yeah. I love it.
Me too.
It may sound corny, but it works, and you know, you gotta do it.
Hey, I feel good. I don't care if I look good. I think I look good. But I'm in a better position with my son, my family, my work life, my financial situation, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Like, can't nobody tell me nothing.
Exactly.
It works if you work it.
Right. And I'm not being cocky. What I am is just being humble and cocky, confident, and humble. And like all three together, it's, you know, it
You
works.
gotta talk the talk before you can walk the walk.
Right. Lead by example. That's what I try to do. But with a tough love, gut check like approach. That's just, I've always been a coach, like a life coach. You know, that's what I've always wanted to be. Like, come smash in your house and throw away all the nonsense and like get you up out of bed in the middle of the night and like, let's go change our lives now.
Beautiful. I think I'm going to try and organise a meet-up in England with some wolves over the next couple of weeks. I want to hike.
Yeah,
some mountains.
I don't have a passport, and I don't know when I'll be able to get one, but I definitely want to go to Prague, Czech Republic, check out the clock, the oldest clock in the world. I want to go to Naples, Italy, and I want to go to, you know, England, Europe, France, Paris.
I'll travel Europe with you. Let's go.
Yeah, we all need to do it as a community, you know.
Yeah. Yep. Euro trip, baby.
Yeah.
Euro trip.
It reminds me of Rat Race, to be honest. I don't know if y'all seen that movie, but that's what I'm thinking of. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
There was also that movie, Euro Trip.
Yeah, I remember that one, but when y'all said Euro Trip, the first thing that came to my mind was Rat Race for some reason.
Yeah, like this one scene of just like loads of cars just driving down the road. I'm all just...
Yeah, we could do like a scavenger hunt or something, a wolf guy scavenger hunt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, like we could have someone design like a riddle or something, and we all have to decode it and like go to all these places and find these different clues. It'll be like the fucking Da Vinci Code.
That's literally what I was just thinking. That was like one of the first books I remember reading that got me to decoding the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah.
That was like planned almost, like, I don't know.
That's a good one. That's a
Dan
good one.
Brown, that's it, Dan Brown.
Yeah.
Angels and Demons,
Yeah.
Da Vinci Code, and there's another one. But yeah, I think he was a Mason. He must have been a
Oh,
Mason.
for sure. 100%.
Oh, yeah. Once you start unpacking it, they all are. It doesn't matter.
It's quite funny. Growing up, my dad went to a private school, and his maths teacher was a Mason. And in later life, like we used to go on like holidays, not with like as a group, kind of like my dad, kind of his friends from school and his teachers from school kind of carried on the traditions that they held. And anyway, the maths teacher, he was a Mason, and his nickname was G. But yeah, they always tried to get my dad to join, and my dad never joined. But I was always like around Master Masons and all this shit, and I didn't even know growing up. I knew what they were, and I knew they had a funny handshake, but like, I just found it funny that his name was G.
Up G.
Yeah, he was like the highest level of. But they always tried to get me to join, and I kind of like wish I kind of went, but just to see what was going on. But I'm glad I never did.
Yeah, I still get curious about it too. There's this lodge just right down the street from me, a big one. So I'm always just like, what the fuck is going on in there? Like, I'm not gonna join, but I want to know, you know.
But I knew a lot of my sister's friends growing up. They used to have to work. Well, they got a job there at the lodge, and it was basically this old creepy man, and they just made the girls kind of like the manager would tell the girls like, make sure your buttons are undone, make sure they can see your tits when you get to the table. Yeah, it's just an old man's.
I have
I
have family in the Freemasonry. I won't say what relation to me, but there's actually a few throughout my life. But I'll tell you this: they're either of some level and know absolutely nothing, or they are truly waving a torch of light and deception in front of your faces, and truly treat us like the profane that they believe we are, like the cattle they believe we are. I'll tell you that.
But
you know,
most of them, like you said, don't know what
yeah,
the hell
yeah,
they're doing.
right.
They don't know anything about the esoteric or the mythology or the traditions, the ancient Egyptian mystery traditions from which it stems. It's just like let's meet up and do barbecues and shoot the shit and play pool and drink beer, you know. That's what I've heard, at least. But you know, I think what we're doing here is way more in terms of gnosis and arriving at a deeper level of understanding what this realm really is and our place in it. In terms of spiritual awakening, it's like, yeah, I feel blessed and immensely grateful, you know.
Amen. Raw. That.
Amen. Raw.
I had to, but I agree there. Totally concur. No disrespect to anybody. Oh.
I guess it's time for me to hit the hay, guys. Oh, it's been a pleasure talking.
Always chilling.
Have a good one.
Yeah,
Take care.
take
God
care.
bless.
I'll speak to you all soon.
Certainly. Hopefully see you tomorrow night at movie night.
Yeah, I'll be there. Probably just look around for a bit, see what's going on. But
If you go into sports decos too, I see you with the soccer decos. Keep coming.
I'll try. Yeah, that's something I wanted to get myself into, but I've just been pushing myself away from it. But yeah, I need to get into it. See you guys later.
Later. Good night. I love Thors-Days. It's my favorite day, you guys.
Why is that?
I don't know. It just always has been. Sometimes it usually does not go the way I want it to, but I just laugh at it now. But like today's been a great day for me so far. But yeah. Other than the fact that I've been up since 1 a.m. and probably won't go to bed till sometime tomorrow. But yeah, I'm off tonight, the rest of the day, today, tomorrow, and Saturday, and I gotta work all day Sunday, Monday. So yeah. So.
That's not a bad trade-off though. You good? Good staying at home. Were you guys talking about TA earlier in terms of technical analysis?
Yeah, Solidify. That's you talking, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just showing a 2-hour time frame that I keep a close eye on. And I'll go ahead and zoom full screen so you can see. We talk, you know, obviously you're in the waters community, so you know we talk esotericism. And I used the 223 and the 322 number for the last year now, because I knew it was going to be a major number coming into this next year. The Skull and Bones number, or the 13th Lucas number in math. And I was talking about how I use the 223, the yellow exponential moving average, and the 322 exponential moving average as, a accumulation range and a de-risking range, vice versa, for quite some time over the last several months. But we were talking about how coming out of the new moon, we get our high on the 20th, which was President's Day. Woohoo! Anyway, but then around the 21st, 22nd of the month, we tend to get a microstructure reset and recycle in the market. 21 tying into Saturn and 22 tying into, reset or change. You get the 22 right there in reset, or change. We tend to get a change around the 21st, 22nd of the month. I would say going into 2023, it might be around the 21st, 22nd, 23rd of the month. But also recycle gives us that 22 as well. So I teach my pioneers at the Daily Candle Close News, which is my channel, that pay attention to the 21st, 22nd of every month. But on 223 going into 224, Satoshi Nakamoto equals 224. So February 24th was an important date I was telling my pioneers to watch out for. But Bitcoin literally fell in 24 hours on the 23rd, 223, down 3.22%. All the way through these two exponential moving averages in this descending falling wedge pattern, which tends to have, we know over time, a 68% chance of a breakout anytime. Oh, it's the same chart. Anytime you look at it. Let's go to the daily on this chart and look at this previous descending falling wedge that we were in for months, putting our fine in our low. 68% chance of a breakout. Do not go against math. And then what did we do? We broke right out of it. A falling wedge pattern. So going back to this chart, descending wedge, we broke out, came back in, we rode the outside of it, and now we're just finding out what we're going to do with these two exponential moving averages. But the horizontal trading range we got to break is 237 and hold that as support, and then break the high of 25,700. And yeah, I didn't have none of my charts loaded up, but I had a W pattern broke out right here. This is our automatic rally and a trend line that goes back multiple years, that Waters had shared with us. But this 257, 25,700 is the 55th prime number, 257. And that ties us into Satoshi Nakamoto, or God giving us that 55, or Satan giving us that 55, or time keeper, which is Saturn, giving us that 55, or like we were talking about, predestination, I probably spelled that wrong, giving us that same 55. So like it's all pre-programmed to an algorithmic code. So that 257 being the 55th prime number, 25,700 being the range that we can't seem to get above right now, it's tying us into Jupiter's thunderbolts, giving us that 257, the 55th prime number. So, that's what we were talking about, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, Waters created a monster, you guys. I mean... So
But
Amazing you've done with his knowledge, applied it, and found your own way. So I salute you. That's amazing, honestly.
well, I mean, he said take his work, copy it, do your own work. I mean, so I take his work and I copy it. What resonates with me, I write down, or I memorize. Just I got an IQ of 151, the 36 prime number. I'm not bragging or nothing, but I just sometimes can hear things and it's there. It's like I remember it. Like I knew that too. And I just go. And like I said, it changed my life. Like I said earlier in this video, I was planning on hitting that exit button and taking my own life at one point, and it's like, nope. Now I see, like I'm gonna reach 1 million people one day. I'm gonna change the lives of somebody. It's about giving a man and woman a fish so they can eat for a day, but leaving them your fishing rod and teaching them how to fish so that they can eat for a lifetime. But before you leave along your journey, teach them how to farm so they can feed nations. And like that's my goal. To be the greatest manifestation, wealth, health, and wellness, life coach, cryptocurrency, whatever coach in the world. And I owe it all to Coach JV at the 3-2 Warrior Academy, or Waters, Logan, Tommy Truthful. I'll even give a shout out to Zachary Hubbard. Any and every decoder out there, or anybody producing artwork, it inspires me now. I ain't gonna lie, I used to be a slime ball, but I want to raise the frequency, raise the vibrations, and realize that I'm a god and goddess with amnesia, and I realize that now.
You're spitting fire, my brother.
Well, I appreciate it. It took a long way to get here, and I know I got a long way to go. So the fact that you're even noticing, man, it's humbling, bro. Success doesn't come easily, and it's not, overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day, they say. So, but it's all for my son, man. If I can just leave behind a digital Hansel and Gretel breadcrumb for my son to follow one day, who's 11, who can hopefully one day change the world, because it's the generations that follow us that are going to change. The revolution will not be televised, and it will be our children that take over. If I can just do my part before they take me out, then I'm gonna do that.
That's awesome. I appreciate that so much.
Who is that?
Crypto Cake.
Crypto Cake. Hello, dear. Pleasure meeting you. Thank you. It's humbling. I'm actually really shy, and this community over the last 3 years has really brought this turtle out of its shell. So thank you.
I appreciate it. I'm in California, and I've just been around a lot of really negative people today, so that's not how
I'm sorry.
And
Well,
I'm trying to change my circle.
we're gonna purge.
So,
We're gonna purge that negativity right here, and raise the frequency, raise the vibration, and look in the mirror and say, we're gonna have a good rest of our day.
That's what I keep saying. I have a client I have to talk to at 6 o'clock, and I know what's coming, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna make it all about. I'm gonna try to flip the script on that one, but I appreciate listening to you, and everyone here in this community. It just means so much to me. I really appreciate it.
Well,
I live in a community that is nothing like our wolf pack. Nothing like it at all. So,
yeah.
but there's hope. I see little glimmers of hope, but you know what California is like now.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean,
yeah. I know.
it's bad. I don't wanna. I hate it, but it is what it
Yeah.
is.
it didn't used to be that way.
No.
And I'm praying for a return to people just being kinder and less selfish. Just praying for a change. And
Well-
I know that it takes me being different and
Yes.
me not backing down on
Yes.
being true to myself.
Speaking your truths, it starts with you. You're right. It's like we said earlier. You got to be the change you want to see in the world today. And you're not gonna wake everybody up, and all of California ain't gonna change. And not everybody wakes up at the same time. Some people woke up at 9/11 or the bear flu. Some people woke up in Afghanistan crisis, or now that the economy's collapsing. But the ones that need to wake up are gonna wake up, and hopefully it'll be enough to take California back. And these other places, Denver, Colorado, New York, New Jersey, and I'm not throwing shade at leftist blue ran states, but let's be honest, there's a lot of these places that just need to be cleaned up. I don't pick a side, but it just so happens to be where it's at, and I hate it. You know, it's bad.
Yeah, we have today it's interesting because one of the schools just set up a giant 5G tower right over it.
Wow. Yes. More government energy weapons. These are patent government energy weapons that will disperse large crowds. Okay, they target the intestines, and like, you can do your own due diligence, but that's great. Let's put them up in front of us.
They're putting it over a school and right next to a Trader Joe's and everything. And I just went on next door and put out a flyer about a community meeting. And because I know I'm going to get nothing but abrasiveness if I word things a certain way, I just put it out there like, hey, if you're a parent or you live in this community, you might want to go to the town hall meeting. It's at 2 o'clock tomorrow. You know, just and just trying to call attention to the fact that you can go do something, you can go show up, but not giving my opinion about it. You know, in hopes that then, at least because people here are super ignorant to ways that they could help in the community. They don't go to protests, they don't go to city council meetings, they don't do anything.
Right.
And then they complain when something's wrong. So I'm like, okay, we just have to let people know when these events are taking place, so if they feel that stirring within them, that hopefully they'll actually go to a meeting and see that they're not alone. You know, maybe other people feel the same way, and then they can come together and hopefully stop that cell tower from going up right in the middle of a school area.
Yeah. Do you remember right before the bear flu outbreak in 2020, in March? You know, I don't want to say it in case we get flagged, but you know, people were threatening to storm Area 51, and there were people all around the world already tearing down 5G towers, and then all of a sudden we get this outbreak. And then nobody's tearing down towers no more. Nobody's storming Area 51. You know, you see when people do come together, what happens though? You know what I'm saying? You see how fast they get us distracted?
I heard that in France, some people were actually taking out towers.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ones and stuff. I was like, oh my
I saw at least like 14 different videos of people destroying 5G towers, right? And at the same time, Facebook and Twitter and everybody was screaming storm Area 51 on 420. And so of course on March 10th they shut the world down, or 11th they shut the world down. That March 11th ties us into the Babylonian Talmud, the Baba Kamal, disinfo, not true, bullshit, 113. Like, of course they shut the world down on 3/11, March 11th. Internationally written 113. Like that. So, yeah, watch out for March 11th this year. I mean, it's the 3-year anniversary. So
it's a little confusing to me because sometimes when I listen to Jordan's videos, I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I am older, and I understand, like, he's talking about the first quarter and third quarter moons now. Those are being the times where we have microcycle lows and whatnot, but he keeps saying that we're going to have a rise up until, I guess, May 5th. Or maybe it's April 20th. I don't know which eclipse we're going up to.
yeah,
And
I'll show
and then
you.
I think, how is it that if something were to happen around March 11th or the Fed meetings on March 14th or 15th, and how can we go up to complete that automatic rally? I just don't understand.
Well,
And
look at
I'm changing the topic, but it in relation to what you're talking about, it just kind of confuses me.
what did you say something I was talking about confused you? The
Just like
311 date.
Yeah, we could have, if we did have something then how would that seems to go against Jordan's idea of an automatic rally and our cycle going up until the eclipse.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to understand too. Like, after the eclipse, are we going down? Like, that's what most people are trying to
Yes,
say.
yes, yes, and I'll most people think think most people are getting a misinterpretation that the automatic rally is going to lead to a new all-time high. Is that what some of you think as well? I'm not saying maybe you, Wolves, but do you think maybe some people are thinking that Jordan's saying this automatic rally is just going to continue up? But y'all are asking, do you think we're going to come back down after this short pump?
Yeah, I was thinking that it's going to go, that it would go up until, I don't know. I can't figure out if he meant April 20th or May 5th.
Yeah, well,
But then
either
it come down.
it can go. Okay, it can go as April 20th should be the new moon, correct? And May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, should be the full moon. April
Yeah.
new
And I
moon.
thought the get out of Dodge moment was May 5th. But then
That's
I don't
probably.
understand
I think
the
he's trying to let us know that that's going to be the absolute last date. So April new moon this year is on the 20th, which is the next solar eclipse. Which solar eclipses do tend to bring bullish energy in these markets. Like this back here was a solar eclipse time period. This automatic rally is what he's comparing it to, and I'll hide the moon phases so you can see it better. But it led into a solar eclipse and then dumped into an ABC pattern over time. Then we had a pump into February, like we're getting now, like we got last year around the Super Bowl, like we got in 2021, a pump into February, just like back here, a pump into February. We tend to get these pumps in February, but they're choppy, dumpy, leading to lows over time. Most of the time, a spring, especially after we get an all-time high. So Jordan's teaching us that this is an automatic rally that will not break all-time highs again, and I believe that as well. After studying Wyckoff method as well. Now anything can happen in the matrix, and we can shoot to 72K in a heartbeat, and well, we were all fooled. But right now we're getting that pump into February. We're breaking out of this descending falling wedge pattern, which we know has again a 68% chance of a breakout to the upside. So let's do a little measured move real quick and draw a trend line. I gotta not extend. So let's just make this measured move and see where it could possibly take us from our breakout. It's still not going to take us to a new all-time high. It's going to take us right there to around roughly $54 to $57,000. We just came out of Super Bowl 57, so that's if we were to get the full measured move breakout. That's a little overheated. So what Jordan's saying is look out for this 702, a high of around possibly 42 to 43 to 48K. If we were lucky, because Satoshi Nakamoto around 4 or 5, April 5th is going to be turning 48 years old, leading into the new moon, which is tending to bring bullish energy. So anything that, like you said, you were confused about this 3/11 date coming up, anything that happens between now and then could just still bring us back down to retest this 236 around March 11th, but it's still setting either a double bottom, or we can wick down and touch this trend line as support, be bought right back up in a day and close the candle high, still setting a higher low in structure that still shows continuation to the upside as long as we confirm another higher high. Because all an automatic rally or all a bull run is just continuations of new all-time highs or short-term highs. So a bull run's continuation of new all-time highs, sell off, held structure, and then a continuation again of new all-time highs. Bull run's over. A, B, C pattern with a low. This is the automatic rally that will eventually lead to possibly a spring. But that's the hardest part to call. Bitcoin doesn't have to give us a spring. Nothing does. But it did back here. But it still never went lower than its previous low. So even if we do get a spring, we could still never go lower than this 15,000, roughly $100, $15,500 range that we went. So that's just, not financial advice. I'm just saying it's a possibility. Because you've got a macro.
Thank you. I appreciate it, because the March 11th was confusing me, and you explaining how it will come back down to that one trend line possibly, and I do believe that it could rip right on up to that 48. It's done it before, so it
Right.
could do it again.
This is the daily time frame. So, oh yeah, this is the daily time frame, and March 11th is going to be 5 days after our full moon. And Jordan teaches us we get our bearish energy 3 to 5 days before or 3 to 5 days after the full moon. So we could be setting sideways up and down right here, battling between 22 psychologically, because that's where our 223 exponential moving average is, and right here at around $24,000, the 322 exponential moving average. So we could be just battling up in here over the next few days until March 11th, where we come back down into, I don't know, maybe retesting 21,500, setting a double bottom, or just come back down to the 223, skull and bones, 223, right there, or the 13th Lucas number, and then just continue up. But we gotta break 25,700, like I was telling you guys earlier, the 55th prime number. If we don't break that, then this could be it for the short term. Like, we could probably just consolidate and just be boring, or maybe bleed down close to this CME gap and not quite feel it. I would say 21,000 psychologically, and bought right back up. I don't think we're going to feel the CME gap that's at 1993 and 2000 until later in the year. And we don't have to feel it. I mean, 9 times out of 10 they're filled, but, it's just what it is. Yeah, we looked at that. Alright. And that's where I'm projecting. Right there at around 32,200. Right above the 1618 when you pull a fib pull from high right here on August 15th, which anyone knows this was the Nixon shock in 1971, which led to this sell-off to a low of obviously 15,500. Okay, and then we get this W pattern breakout, and so I'm looking for roughly 32,200 to start de-risking in this automatic rally. Not financial advice, but we're kind of in a dome pattern, just holding support along the edge of this. So we could fall to around March 13th, the day they shut the world down 3 years ago, and the orange guy handed control over to FEMA. We could fall down to around 22,200, 22,300, like I was just saying. So multiple charts that can confirm this.
I don't really have Bitcoin. I'm more of a H-bar gal.
Yeah, I've got H-bar. I've got H-bar, VeChain, XRP is my largest holding. I'm very heavy in H-bar, very heavy in VeChain. I got a little bit of ETH, Bitcoin, Algorand. I've actually, over the last several weeks, been investing dollar cost averaging into Jasmy. Gomes has talked about it a lot, and I saw it was down 99%, so I ended up accumulating 100,000 tokens to just see if I can play a short-term gain in that. And then, of course, Water's last red pill was him talking about investing in Jasmy. But anyways, great minds think alike. We were talking about that earlier, but there's a few other projects I own as well. Stellar, Lumens, Chainlink, Polkadot, Solana. I was able to de-risk that at the 4236. Made a video warning everybody to get out of Quant, get out of Solana, and was right about those. Luna as well. I didn't hold Luna, but my roommate did, and I made a video saying if you hold Luna and you don't sell it, you're a fool. But
I got into XLM at the wrong time. I started crypto at like the height, so I had no idea what was going on and bought XLM when it was too expensive.
Right.
So now I'm trying to dollar cost average.
Yeah, and that's the best way to go. Whether it's
but we all enter not necessarily knowing what we're doing, but having hopefully good intuition, and it doesn't always work out that way until you really put your thinking cap on. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And it's a community, right? To learn.
Right.
To adjust. People have been there. I lost a bunch of money, and I was like, oh.
Me too. Me too. I've missed out on so many projects, you guys. Lost so much money. I'm currently uploading all my old videos, like from start to now, on YouTube at the Daily Candle Close News. It'll be ready soon. Just give me time. Success takes time, but you'll be able to watch the journey from start to finish, and you'll see the change we've made along the 3 years that we've been doing this. And like I've made mistakes, I've made missed calls, but I've made calls that nobody else has either. I don't know, there's 500,000 people putting out a video a day probably, so I don't watch them all, but there's probably 40, 50, 60 people in the last 3 years that I've spent hours and hours and hours just consuming their content and just studying and just crafting my skill. And it's like, well, they ain't doing this, you know what I'm saying? So I'm able to take the best from all around, and I don't know, in my eyes it's at least made me successful. And I believe if other people can use these things like Jordan is teaching us, or Logan, or even the Bearable Bull, or whoever you like to follow, blockchain backer,
Bitboy Crypto.
I've never really been a big fan. I've watched maybe 5 videos of his all in 3 years. I just never really have been a big fan. I don't know, maybe, and I don't know the guy, you know what I'm saying?
There's a video of him that's like, he's at a conference and like some lady calls him out for being like a fraud or whatever, right?
Right.
And then he just like says, "You're a rapist. You're this. You're that." And it's like, what the fuck?
How
like,
rude.
I've never seen this
Whoa.
guy's wild character in my life, but
like, no.
maybe there's truth to it. I don't know. I didn't really go looking for the research or anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, like, I've been around my friends that have watched him and talked, like I've been around, I've just never really gave him none of my attention. Like, I don't subscribe to him, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
No, I feel that. I don't know. And plus, he has like 1 million followers and stuff like that. Once people are like that famous and they have that much like polarity towards for people, then like then you start questioning something up for sure.
Yeah, I got like 3 followers. No, I say that facetiously and sarcastically, but I got like 57 on Facebook. But I've always tried to be just like organically grown. Like, I don't pay to boost my post. I don't like I just want those that vibrate with what I'm saying, that are gonna sit here and watch an hour and a half long, 2 hour, 3 hour long video that I'm putting out, whether I make mistakes or not, because I don't edit them. It's one take, uncut. Let's go. Let's learn together. And it's, I want to attract the leaders and the pioneers. That's what I call my followers. And like the wolf pack here, and my videos are not for the short attention span. You will not sit down and watch the first 2 minutes or 10-minute motivational speech. Like, you'll just be done. You just want to know about the crypto. You're going to be skipping through whatever, like, then it's not for you. But come back when it is, arms wide open. We love you. But yeah, I just try to put in motivation. And
What's your name?
My name?
Like on like you have a channel on YouTube, you said, no?
I'm currently D Vortex, who just rejoined. She's the one that encouraged me to get back on YouTube. I had a YouTube, it was once called Mr. XR Billionaire because I used to be an XRP maxi, but it is my biggest bag, and it's made me life changing wealth. So I kind of throw shade at the XRP army too. You know what I'm saying? Not really, but it's like I fell for it. I fell for it, but then I got to a point to where it's like, dude, I am learning nothing watching this nonsense. I'm gonna teach myself a skill, but right here at the Daily Candle Close News on Facebook is where a lot of my work is. I got 57 current followers. You gotta be kidding me. It was not that earlier, you guys. We were talking about it, D. You know it. But, like, my latest video was, I didn't talk about it much in this, but I shared it in the thumbnail, and we talked about it tonight. But my latest video was right here, just the other day. But I've got a ton on here, and it's just like I said, a lot of work just like Waters, or Logan, or, just me spitting my own truth or whatever, and, I'm constantly evolving and learning new things and realizing that, well, maybe I made a mistake along the way, and, maybe my opinion changes. But, I also have the Rumble account, which I finally got updated, with all my newest videos. You've even got the Crypto Bird Dog Ronin video on here that is in the Discord in the group chat for anybody with the link. They can view that. I got a chance to be on the Ronin Experience a couple Fridays ago for an hour and 23 minutes. I did this Friday night hangout for the Super Bowl and the Friday night movie night, or the Sunday night hangout for the Super Bowl. I recorded that, uploaded it right here on Rumble. I can send anybody the link, and I did the White Noise movie night, and recorded it for everybody and uploaded it. So, but yeah, I'm also working on creating my own website, which is why I was really wanting to catch that live and hang out last night and learn about Not Your Server, Not Your Data, from D-Vortex. What was his name?
Yeah, a pinche gordo.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
like,
Yeah, so I'm hoping to be able to collaborate with all y'all soon and learn about that, because I've been using Wix, and I've been spending my own money into it. And
yeah, it's amazing the kind of stuff that you can learn in these Wednesday nights. But I'm actually, now that you mention it, I'm gonna reach out to him and ask him for the recording, because I have to post a recording up with all his contact information so that you guys can have access to that if you missed it. And then just a quick plug. I just wanted to say hi to everyone, and I'm glad to see that you're all still here. I was here earlier, then I went, did some homework, and now I'm back. But,
yeah, we're 2 hours and 32 minutes in.
Oh, you guys are fucking killing it. I love it. Like
The 223.
But tomorrow is the movie night. So if you guys are gonna attend, please go on the movie night thread. I'll put it on the chat. And go vote for the movie that you want, so that we can pick a movie for tomorrow. Just so you know.
Yes, ma'am. Certainly.
Thanks,
Thanks,
I was gonna tell you.
guys. I mean, I'll sit in the background and just listen out. Hey, Crypto Cake, long time no see.
I actually kids out today, so that's great.
Yeah, how's the West Coast?
Oh my gosh, we've just been getting blown away. It hailed on me yesterday. I mean, I'm in San Diego, it's hailing on me. My daughter got snow in Los Angeles. It's crazy. All this lovely weather is coming your way.
Oh, not here in Florida, it's not.
They've been flying stratospheric aerosol injections like nobody's business. And they're like, oh, thanks, buddy. Thanks for this. You can just watch them. They go, oh, here comes the weather. And now they're starting to do it over the Pacific further so that we can't see it.
Oh, wow. They're just fucking everybody up, huh?
Mm-hmm. I'm like, this is where I'm coming from.
Yeah, let's just stay strong and manifest abundance so that people can get off these crazy cities, and let's just come together and just vibe high, seriously, because we are the projectors, we are the ones that manifest this reality. So if we fucking change the way we see the world we see changes.
Oh yeah, I just look out and think, oh well, the sunset's beautiful, and my trees will grow
Yeah.
bigger, and you know,
Exactly.
in a positive way.
I know it sounds whack, but it's true. So, but I'm gonna let y'all continue getting all of the fun that you all having. I just wanted to come and say hi real quick, and I remind people to go vote for the movie. I'm gonna post a link on the chat so you guys can have access to it.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
you
Thank you,
all.
D. Love you, D.
Have a good night.
I gotta go too. I gotta keep work. Have a good night, everybody.
You too, Kurt. Okay.
Yeah, but I was gonna tell you, if you're really trying to get more exposure, especially on like YouTube, shorts are really getting pushed right now. I'm a digital marketer, so like that's basically where like a lot of the exposure is coming from. So you ever get like a little quick like 60-second clip that you're able to cut down and put as a short, you'll probably get a lot of views from it. Maybe not at first, but over time, and you can pick up a lot of followers that way, and then it'll lead them to see your long form content.
Correct. So like, so just
TikTok is going down.
so just go through one of my videos and kind of like do a screen recording for a quick 1 minute.
Yeah, like make it separate. Like don't pull it from your full episode, but like actually just be like, all right, cool. I have a 60-second little couple of sentences I want to get out and show a tip, and just do a screen record and then just frame it so it fits inside of the 9:16 aspect ratio, which is for shorts, and then just go ahead and shoot it off, and you'll definitely get probably more views than you normally get on your long stuff, but it should be able to help you drive more people to your longer videos.
Right. Yeah. I appreciate that. Yeah, because I know nothing. I'm self-taught. Like I told them earlier, I learn everything just on the fly, on the go. I knew nothing about technology several years ago. When I got out of prison, I didn't even know what an iPhone was. I knew what it was, but I never had one. I had a Motorola Razor back in the day. So, but yeah. So I'm self-taught everything. So yeah.
Yeah, me too. I know it took a lot of years, but yeah, I've been in digital marketing for about like 7 years now. So
nice. Yeah, I wanna get into all that, like making my content more, I don't know, edit worthy. But it's like I don't even see a problem with it really. Like to me, it's like when I rewatch it, it's like, all right, cool. Like I might have said bullish when I'm talking about bearish or like something like that, and it's like. Somebody with an enlightened mind, they'll understand. Like, there's no need to go back, edit that one part. I don't even know how to do that, by the way. I don't even know how to edit. But yeah.
No, just straight off the cusp is great. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Awesome, man.
Wow. How about that, you guys? In live, like we were talking about. Live in the chat. Where's Waters when you need him? Somebody page the man. Tell him to please do an interview with me. Tell the man to please do the interview with me. We were literally talking about this 223.
That's wild.
He created a monster. I sent him some of my work over Christmas. Around that time, he said he was gonna watch it sometime, but I don't know if he's ever got around to it, but I'm not rushing. But I would love to collaborate with him and just pay homage to the man that created the monster you're seeing today for 2 hours and 30-something minutes now. We're all monsters here, pioneers, wolves, divergents, glitches. That's how I feel. Gods and goddesses with amnesia, taking back our power.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. It's like nobody in my normal life I'm able to kind of communicate with about any of this kind of stuff.
Yeah, everybody at my work and in life thinks I'm nuts. They'll be the first to turn on me whenever people are paid to tell on your friends who haven't got a jab or something. Who are the right wing conspiracists in your family? Never mind, I'm just playing. I'll behave.
Yeah, I know. Like when I run all my stuff through for this. I use a name called Enlightened Dad, and like I'm on like TikTok, and I haven't posted in a long time, but
yeah, it's funny. It's like the only person that knows about it is my wife, and even she's really doesn't understand anything kind of on this, spiritual journey. So,
Right.
but
Yeah.
that's what's great about the community here.
I guess that's what I'm doing. I'm just taking it one step at a time on my spiritual journey, finding myself, trying to teach my son how to be a good man. That's everything I do is for him.
Crank your truck right now.
I just can't believe this, y'all. That just blows my mind.
That's one sick candle.
Yeah.
It's just like, bloop, let me just drop right now. What?
And it's tomorrow too. It's already the 3-3 candle. It's not 3-2. I know it's 3-2, but it closed 40 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago. I don't know what time. 8:30, 8 o'clock. So it's 3-3, and we hit a low of 22,300. We're down $1,130 roughly right now. That 113 tying us back into, of course, the Babylonian Talmud, the Baba Kamal that we were talking about earlier with Cupcake. She's not here. But today 3-3 is roughly 4 days. Today was 5 days heading into the next full moon. So of course we go to 223 exponential movement average. Just boom, where the Bollinger Band's at. Okay, so we could easily come almost down to this 216. That's the true mark of the beast. 6 times 6 times 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 6 times 36 is 216. So very, very important range, right above that 215 range, horizontal range that we don't need to break. If we break that, we're going down. So yeah. But yeah, this could be our low that sets a higher low and is bought back up over the next few days though. Like this could be the only low that comes in around the full moon.
Probably until the 3rd, and then it'll fall again on the 3rd or so.
Yeah, like this could be it because it's getting bought up. We'll just have to see what happens. What's today? Tomorrow, when the stock market closes, and then we'll have to pay attention to crypto over the weekend because it's the only thing trading. But it's gonna depend on what Wall Street does tomorrow. The bulls. Yeah. So this pink is the 200 exponential moving average, and that's pretty much where we came down to. We're holding support of the 21, and the 55 is above the 21, so that's kind of not good. Waters teaches us that. So we just want to get this 21 back above the 55, and then see if we can't get price action to regain and hold support of this 34 at around 22,000, 23,000 even, to be honest, over the next few days. Over the weekend, see if the bulls can't come back into play here, because it's probably just resetting the RSI from that bearish divergence that we know we had. And I mean, you see the bearish divergence too, how you got a higher high, lower high, bearish divergence on the MACD as well. So it wasn't just the RSI high, lower high setting a bearish divergence. It's multiple oscillators setting bearish divergences as well on multiple time frames, clear as day. So we knew a pullback was coming. So I mean, don't panic sell. It's like, this is accumulate, not financial advice. Dollar cost average, accumulate.
That's all I've been doing since like October, November.
Yeah, 2018. I did a year of research then. I was in crypto in 2011, 2012. And then I sold 4,400 something Bitcoin when I was in prison, because all I had was a little piece of paper and somebody on the outside that helped me, do everything. But anyway, long story short, I get rid of it, and then on April fucking Fool's Day the next year, it hits $111, and I miss out on over $450,000. So I stopped fooling with it then for several years, but in 2018, I was like let's see what this is about again. So I studied it for a year, and then throughout 2019, I studied it some more, and I was like, something's coming. There's a catalyst. There's about to be an event, and I didn't know what it was, but it ended up being C19, and I deployed everything in the dip, and I rode the wave on the way up, and it's like I said, it's changed my life, and here we are today. 2 hours and 45 minutes, 15 away from 3. It feels like a Waters live stream, don't it?
It kind of does. That's funny.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'm probably I mean, unless y'all had something y'all wanted to share or talk about in particularly, probably gonna get off here in a minute and work on getting this remuxed and uploaded and ready for everybody else to view. But go check on my son, more importantly. Make sure he don't need nothing to eat and things.
Alright, good talking to you, brother.
Yeah. The pleasure's all mine, you guys. It's been a privilege. It's humbling, the words you've all shared, and Chili, Solidify, East Cot 99, everybody else that joined tonight had some real, obviously enlightened, true pioneers and wolves and divergence and glitches in the matrix, that want to obviously not only better themselves, but just want to see everybody else succeed and be a better version of themselves as well. And I mean, it showed. And to be here speaking with you all, I mean, there's nowhere else I'd rather be on a Thursday night. So I appreciate you all, and hopefully you enjoy some of the work that I put out. If you follow me on Facebook or YouTube, it's still a working in progress. Got probably a couple hundred videos I gotta upload over time. But Facebook and Rumble at Honest Abe, capital H, A, capital H on the Honest, capital A on the Abe, and Abe spelt with a 3, AB3 on Rumble. And Facebook's the Daily Candle Close News, you guys. I can post a link if I got to in the link, but if not, I'll be here tomorrow night for movie night. I don't plan on missing it. Probably gonna do the same thing, record it, but just chat. We kind of like to just keep it movie night, watch the movie, and do our decoding in the chat, etc.
The movie that you're watching?
Yeah, we tend to. But it's kind of hard for me. Like if I'm live streaming the movie and I'm the one running it, like I can't pull up Discord for my phone and the computer at the same time. Like it kicks the computer off if I pull it up on my phone. So I can't also pull up the chat a lot because it minimizes the screen for everybody, and it just gets annoying. Sometimes the mic, you hear the mic every time a new person comes in, you'll hear the noise or something like that, because I don't know how to cut off those notifications on my computer. But like other than that, it's been a great experience the last couple of times. And but yeah, if it's hard for me to be able to be the one sharing my knowledge and decode, because I'm not able to be in the chat for long because I don't want to minimize the screen. So there might be times where I might take a quick second to say something over the movie real quick that I think is very enlightening. But other than that, I just try to be quiet and just let everybody enjoy the movie, record it, and just post it for everybody else to see later. That's my goal, to start doing. Awesome. But again, thank y'all, man, for coming out, and I hope y'all have a blessed rest of your evening wherever you are out in this matrix and galaxy. Alright, awesome. Solidify is gone, you guys. East Cot. 99, Chili, my buddy from overseas I've been talking to recently. Have a blessed one, man. Y'all take care, and God bless. And y'all know how I like to end it. I like to end my videos with just any and anything I can to lift up the vibration and the frequency, and that's what you believe in your hearts and speak in your minds will eventually become your words and your reality, and what you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mindset, and what gets ingrained in your subconscious mindset becomes an unconscious action and an unconscious activity, and what you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mindset. It needs to be guideful, helpful, and nurturing to others. And with that being said, take care and God bless. Pioneers rise, build your fortress, and build your legacy. We'll see you in the next one, you guys. See you tomorrow night.